Everyone lost their mind. The Florida sued the government because like some kids got hit because it was dark as they were going to the school bus, and it never happened, Bink. It's never going to happen. We're all going to go through all this dog and pony show. Like, this is like some easy political win. Like, I'll get rid of daylight savings time. I don't mind it. I happen to like it just fine. I like when I like when it's light in the morning and dark at night. Makes sense. It stinks when it gets darker earlier in winter. Whatever. I'll live my life. That's my hot take for the day.
I'm okay with whatever.
Daylight savings
Honestly,
time.
it doesn't
keep
matter.
it.
It doesn't really bother me either way. Either way is fine.
Drew,
I don't really have a firm opinion on daylight savings.
You got
time.
a firm opinion on daylight savings time before we get started on the show?
Not firm. I just want it to be. I feel like not changing the clocks is fine with me, but at the same time, changing them is not a problem. I know that
it's such
falling
a minor
back is nice because you get the extra hour.
Yeah.
Springing forward is not as fun because you get less sleep, I guess.
Yeah,
Sure,
that
I guess.
does suck.
And I'm saying that as someone who has a kid, right? Like when you had a baby and sleep schedules and all this other nonsense that throws them off. Kids don't understand that the clock's changed.
No.
Like I'm even telling you that like some of the inconveniences that have taken place.
Well, the thing is,
And even
Arizona
I still
never
don't care.
changes.
Just keep it.
So if you're in Arizona,
No,
it
it
never
doesn't.
changes.
No, it's sunnier there. I don't know.
So you just go with it, man. The Royal Spring Training, you don't have to worry about it.
I lived in Arizona when it didn't.
Because they're 1 hour behind us, and then all of a sudden,
You know what?
boom.
I actually do have a firm opinion. Whatever it means there's more light during the day, because I get sick and tired of it getting dark at like 5 o'clock.
Okay, so
that's
then you want
depressing.
them to eliminate daylight
Yes,
savings
then go ahead
time.
and get rid of it. Then get rid of it.
But I
It'll
just
get
want to
dark a
remind
little
you.
bit later, like 6 o'clock.
But that means it'll be dark
fine.
till like 9 in the morning. Are you okay with that? Like 8:30 in the morning, it'll be dark outside.
Sure.
You're trading it off. I'm just checking to make sure.
The time that I'm awake, I want it to be lighter more often. I'd rather it be.
I guess I'm awake
Light
at
at
6 and I'm
8:30.
awake at 5.
I suppose,
There's not
yeah,
like or
yeah.
7. There's not like
For
I'm
you,
awake
it doesn't matter then as
I'm
much, I
awake at
guess.
both of those times.
I do okay, but it's more of the evening thing for me. Like people go to work.
Yeah.
And it's dark, and then they come, and then they leave work, and it's dark. That's got to be a depressing feeling.
You're saying they're losing it on both ends.
I just always
Yes.
know it's interesting for the night shows. Because sometimes, like in the fall, you'll start your night show and it's literally night. Nowadays, you get done at 9 and it's still a hint of daylight left when you leave.
Do you like that or not like that?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with whatever. Just because, it's the way sun works. I'm actually good with it.
Someone says, good luck in winter if you make it permanent. It's the dumbest idea. It's going to throw your whole world off.
I have to get used
It's
to
also,
it.
by the way, going to change like when weather comes in. Like it's so stupid, but like the way we change it, instead of like weather coming in, like instead of snow coming in at 5 o'clock, it'll come in at 6 o'clock, or it's going to change because the time will be different. So all that stuff I'm just saying, don't change it. Just leave it.
Okay. I never really thought a ton about it.
Someone said I'm selfish. For what? I'm trying to look out for everybody else who has to drive home in darkness. I want you guys to be able to drive home and see the sun when you're done working.
But they're saying you really only want it because you want to see the sun. This to me is the argument
I
people
think
make
other
when they say
people
they're
do as well, though.
like people who I've long since shamed people who back into parking spots and like it's safer for you. You're not doing it for everyone else around you. Don't try to pretend like
Is
this
it
is
really
like a
safer,
favor
though?
that this is a favor to society that you back in your spot. You're doing it for you. You're inconveniencing everybody in the whole row to back your ass into that spot under the guise of it's better for everyone else. That's better for you. You want the sunlight, Drew. There's plenty of people. That's fine. People do things for you reasons all the time. You want the
Who wants
sunlight. I don't
Me
mind.
being
I don't
selfish for wanting
care.
sunlight, I think, is crazy. You guys enjoy the dark way too
I
much.
don't
then.
like the dark. I get, we all get seasonally depressed like the next person.
Let's just really screw it up. Let's go move 5 hours up and just keep it there. Or move 5 hours back and keep it there.
Let's just
do it.
it'll be light at night.
Yeah, just do whatever.
It'll be like Alaska,
Yeah.
It's like 24 hours of daylight
Have
or
a
24
daylight at
hours
like
of
2 a.m.,
darkness.
1 a.m.,
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do the Alaska time. I don't know how they do that where it's like dark 20 hours a day.
Or light all the
Or light all the time.
The reverse of it.
Imagine just
yeah.
being out at 3 in the morning and just sun's out.
People
That'd be
battle this all the time
interesting.
that work at night. Then all of a sudden they have to go home and it's time to sleep. The sun's out. I mean, there's a lot of people who deal with this anyway.
Someone says it's easier to wind down when it's dark out. They actually don't mind it.
Someone said I should move
Interesting.
closer to the equator.
Drew was closer to the equator for a little while when he lived in Florida.
I was.
That was slightly closer.
And there wasn't that much of a difference.
I wasn't planning on
Come
talking
on.
daylight savings time today.
Anyways.
We can get back into it later in the show. I'm more than happy to talk about, the big news around the world, which is it moving through the House and then maybe going to the to the Senate, I guess, at least for that end. But let's talk a little Major League Baseball because there's been a lot of back and forth during All-Star Week. And look, baseball should be trying to highlight MLB All-Stars. Look at our superstars. Look how happy. Cody Bellinger, MVP, Home Run Derby champion Jordan Walker. Look at us go. And instead, it's mostly been surrounded by the back and forth between the MLBPA and Rob Manfred. Because Major League Baseball started an ad campaign essentially talking about salary cap. And look, kudos to them, called Level the Field, Bink, an advertising campaign from the league's owners expressing the league's desire for a salary cap. Now, I would suggest baseball's Players Association go up and buy up some ad time themselves, although they don't have the dough, the same amount of dough as the owners do, in an attempt to sway all of the public proposal, in an attempt to make it look like they're the bad guy. And right now, I'll just tell you right now, it's working. It's working for the common fan because the common fan wants the salary cap. But this notion of the salary cap will just fix all the problems in baseball, BS. It won't. It's not going to just solve every problem. The evening of the field, I think it's because we think in the NFL it's equal. It's not equal in that sport either, even with a salary cap. Have you looked at how few teams are actually good every year in the NFL? Like actually matter? I think that the actual player's pitch of what it is doing is subsidizing mediocrity is right. Because in the NFL, in a lot of ways, Bink, that is what it's done. The reason why they sign these bad quarterbacks to these mega deals is there's no lost revenue in it. You can win 9 wins a year, like the Pittsburgh Steelers every year, print millions and billions of dollars. It is subsidized mediocrity. Sometimes you get lucky and you find the right quarterback and you get good. And because no one's all that bad for all that long, or because you can get good faster, we pretend like it's even. I think baseball players are right in the subsidized mediocrity department. But how do you pitch that? How do you put that into an ad versus Level the Field? That's a better ad. Major League Baseball's owners have a better pitch to regular fans.
Well, we all knew it needs to be fixed, but you see teams like Tampa that didn't spend a ton of money, have great seasons, and the Mets that spend, well over $200 million, they can't get out of their own way, and they're a competitive team with the Royals. But I see your point. It does level the playing field, and I think you're getting closer and closer to it when you have MLB TV doing all these TV contracts. They'll eventually.
Yeah, I don't want a salary cap unless we're all agreeing to share the.
That's the whole deal.
The money, because that's what the NFL has.
No, it is, and it's how Kansas City changed. A lot of people don't realize in the late '80s the Royals had the highest payroll in baseball. Think of that. Yeah. The Royals had the highest payroll in baseball.
And they were the same size market as they are now.
In the late '80s, it is the same. Yeah, it was the same. And highest payroll, you know what changed things? The explosion of cable television. Having the Superstation and having the Yes Network and teams having their own TV deals. And, some teams we're getting a check for, $150 million. And the Royals, when they won the World Series, which is really crazy, when they won the World Series, their TV contract was worth like $20 million.
That's it. And the Dodgers is like $200 million or $150 million.
But when they won in 15, it was the lowest contract in Major League Baseball.
I guess this is part of the problem, and this is where like somebody's like, hey, it's not going to solve the problem, but it will help. Yeah, but it'll help the owners more than it'll just help the sport. Unless you're agreeing that we're all equal playing field, all tugging on the same rope in order to get to the same place, I get what the players are saying. Unless you're going to standardize all of these TV contracts and you're going to make the market deals the same, because that is how the NFL actually is closer to even than a number of these sports is. Everything's even. You get the same check from the league for TV. You get the same check for this. The only things you can earn more money on are selling your merchandise, right? And you still can only spend so much of it. Mm-hmm. And this is why the players don't like it. The players are just like, well, these rich owners in these big cities will still just make more money. Like the Dodgers owner will make more money than the Royals owner. How will this solve the problem? But I mean, they have such a large gap right now. The players can't win this public argument because the difference between what the Dodgers pay in payroll, like $400 million, and what the lowest team pays, like $100 million, it's gone too far. It's gone too far in one end or the other. But the floor's got to be way up there because I don't know if it's going to even are the Dodgers and the Royals really going to be on equal footing?
You know what hurts their case too?
Or because here's the other problem with equal footing, Bink, is that the Dodgers can still buy 70,000, more scouts and nicer baseball equipment and but the other issue is that I think the owners get a free pass and that any owner could afford it. Like, I want to be very clear. Any owner could do what the Padres owner did.
You know what
Any
helps
owner
the
could just
players?
spend.
You know what helps the players?
Yeah.
$9.6 billion the Seahawks being sold for.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
And baseball teams are
they don't
going
get- but they
for
don't get
billions
any
of dollars too.
Baseball
$2, $3,
players
$4 billion.
want part of the revenue that comes from sales.
Okay, I'm
probably
saying
not
their,
gonna
their
get
franchise
that, but-
values are a lot more. Again, David Glass bought the team for less than $100 million. Royals now sold for $1 billion.
Yeah.
Now, if they went on the market today, it'd be like $2.5, $3 billion.
Here's the problem with the and this
It
is
just keeps going up.
they have good arguments against it, but like when Rob Manfred is going out there, the problem is everything in the player side is nuanced. And so, like, because owners can't spend. Let's be very clear. John Sherman, if he just wanted to have I'm dead serious, and I'm sure he'll say no. But if he wanted to have a $300 million payroll, he could. Would it hurt him financially? Yeah, it would. Like it hurt the Padres guy. But he could do it if he just wanted to. Now, I'm not saying he should or I would in his spot, but most of these owners could spend more if they just felt like it, right? They could just choose to
But could they take a Mets-like season?
Yeah.
Like if they broke the bank and paid that
I don't know,
much,
they probably would. The
could you be
Royals-
able to stomach a Mets-like season?
Yeah, the Royals did closer to that, at least on this other end. But on the players' end, it's like so many of their things are nuanced. It's how do you separate the monies? And you know what it is? They want a salary cap based off of the revenue in the sport, but they want to eliminate all the revenue that the owners get separate from all of these stadium deals. And like in a way, Bink, do you see how unfair that is?
Yep.
So I'm an owner. I buy a team for $100 million, and this is like way less. I buy a team for $100 million. 10 years later, I sell them for $1 billion. They want that number excluded entirely. We got to split all the profit, right? I got to give you 50% of every revenue dollar that gets spent on salary. You got to give me 50%, but not that money, not the biggest chunk of the pie. It's crappy. It's a
It's return on investment. Do you think the Mets are the worst return on investment in professional sports?
this year
Their
Yeah,
payroll
probably.
is $376 million. $376. They have 40 wins, and 2 of those are virtue of the Kansas City Royals when they went to New York to play the Mets. They're 40 and 57, 17 games under 500 with a $376 million payroll. That's got to be the lowest return on investment in Major League Baseball.
In regards to the saving the sport thing, I don't know if I'm with you. I don't think a salary cap necessarily saves the sport necessarily, but I do think that in terms of the popularity of it, it's going to draw more eyeballs because it's not just the same teams winning it every year. Where I think we've got, the NFL is good at that. The NBA in the last 8 years has had 8 different finals winners. It's been a healthy dose of parity. Obviously, with the World Cup, even there's an article that I'm looking at right here. According to The Economist, the fans were asked. There was like a survey. Soccer has taken over baseball in terms of people's favorite sports. Like they're right there with soccer. And I think the World Cup is only going to help that. Where I don't know, based on the path that baseball's gone with no salary cap, it's going to be the 4th favorite sport in the U.S. and it's going to be overtaken by soccer and be behind the 8 ball. Where I think it doesn't necessarily save the sport from not existing, but I do think from a popularity
it would draw interest
from a
in the
popularity standpoint, I think more casual just sports fans would be more inclined to watch Cody, knowing that the Dodgers don't have a who's who in their lineup, and they're basically guaranteed to win their division, to get to the playoffs, and more likely than not, get to, if not win, the World Series almost every single year.
It is crazy. I mean, admittedly, again, there's a huge difference because the Dodgers payroll, the highest payroll in baseball this year is $328 million. The Dodgers payroll is $301. It's not really $301. They're paying 2 nickels for Shohei Ohtani.
Because they're deferring, exactly.
If they actually had to
If
pay
you
him,
have to defer, it'd be like $470 million.
But if they actually had to pay the guy this year, their payroll would be more like $400 million. The lowest payroll in baseball is $80. Like, that is a crazy discrepancy.
Cleveland.
Like, I will say,
Is
like,
that what you're seeing in Cleveland?
Yeah,
'Cause these things, I was looking at Spot Rack. They're all over the place.
So, someone says is Drew high. No, I'm looking at a Fox Sports article. The Economist did a survey. 36% share of the fans say American football is number 1.
yeah, that's
17% say basketball is number 2. 10% say football/soccer is number 3 at 10%. And then 9% is baseball at 4.
I think it just.
So it's especially with the World Cup, Cody. I mean, with how I know we're going to get into it a little bit, but we've talked about it before about how successful this World Cup is, where you guys are talking about getting into it. Mac is talking about getting into it outside of just the national team stuff.
But the viewership numbers are nowhere close on soccer still. Baseball's still comfortably third at the moment.
Which is interesting.
Because
So
American football gets between, like most studies say they get between like 150, 200 million viewers. Basketball's like 100, baseball's like 70.
That might
more
be
than
because-
hockey, more than soccer at the moment.
Yeah,
right?
I wonder if that's just the accessibility of national games being on Fox, where you kind of have to search a little bit for soccer in some way, shape, or form. But it is interesting that people say baseball is the fourth favorite sport for them, where the viewership numbers are there, but I don't. And maybe that's just because there's enough stars with Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge and Bobby Witt, et cetera, that people want to be inclined to watch. But in terms of the way that we're going, soccer is going to become the third most popular sport in
I feel like
the
I've been
country.
hearing
I
that for
feel
like 40 years, so like I don't want to like
if we don't get
pencil
the
it
salary
in,
cap
but
though, Cody, to me, I've lost more. I have watched less baseball the last 2 or 3 years than I have maybe the 2 years before that combined. I watch less baseball now because like I watch the Royals, but I don't tune in to the Fox game on Saturday afternoon. I got better things to. I don't need to watch Yordan Alvarez play, and I catch the highlights. Baseball is becoming a highlight sport for me because I know I know the Dodgers are gonna be in the World Series. I know the Braves will be in it almost every other year, and the American League, the Yankees are there as well. Like my interest in baseball is falling off, and I think that's because the same teams are winning every year. I'll catch some highlights. I think that's kind of what baseball's turned into for me. I'm not going to speak for anybody else, but from the interest level, it's falling off, and I think part of that is due to there being no
total watch
salary cap.
Yeah, it's hard. I think the lockout would really kill him. Last year, MLB was the second most watched league. NBA was the third most watched. When they talk about sports, they lumped in college, football being 1, basketball being 2 because people watch both the NBA and college, and then baseball being 3. But if you do it league by league, baseball's still got a decent foothold, but the lockout could really hurt.
Then why are we talking about the sport dying though?
I'm not.
If it's the
I'm
second,
not saying
if it really is this, if it really is the second sport, then why is the conversation we have this conversation every single year? It seems like there's an article written about how much baseball's dying.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
I don't think baseball is dying. I think that a lockout could seriously hurt him. But I also think that that's part of what Major League Baseball owners are doing really well here, which is we got to fix the sport or there might be real problems. Coming up in 10 minutes, we'll talk some local college football. The win totals are out for MU, KU, and K-State. We'll talk about where those ended up landing. But over at Arrowhead Pride, they were going back and forth a little bit. And our guy, Mark Gunnels, was having an argument series, which he does pretty regularly over there, called Let's Argue. And he said that the Chiefs will have a top 10 offense and defense in the upcoming years, an argument Lee was trying to make. And I was trying to decide just how realistic I thought any of that was. I have a hard time imagining any world in which they don't have a top 10 defense under Spags because they've had nothing but a top 10 defense. And I feel like I'm the only person on the planet who thinks their defensive line is better than last year. Note, I did not say one of the best or great or super good. I just said better than last year's, Bink. A pretty low bar based on the performance metrics they got out of the defensive line. I think there's like a 50-50 shot they're top 10 in both of those. That doesn't seem outside the range. It doesn't take that many things going right for this to be the case. Defense, stay about the same. Be slightly worse, actually, than last year, and you'd be in there. Offense, be slightly better. Believe it or not, they were like 10th or 11th in scoring before Mahomes got hurt last year, and that was in an ineffective offense. They'll have Kenneth Walker and some better weapons, or at least I think the top end guys should be around more. I'm just kind of penciling them for the 9th best offense, the 9th best defense. I think there's a 50-50 shot they're top 10 in both, Bink. Does that sound right to you? Or you got it higher?
I think it's about right.
Lower?
Well, defense set the bar last year, as bad as we think it was, perception-wise, of the defense. It was by far and away the best unit of the Kansas City Chiefs. Offense was like 22nd in the NFL. Defense was top 10. It was right at 10. And there's only 2 teams in the top 10 scoring defenses that weren't in the playoffs. The Chiefs were the 6th best scoring defense. I mean, they gave up the 6th fewest points in all the NFL. And the Vikings were the other team that were top 10 that didn't make the postseason. So not a long way to go. Obviously, the parts are changing a lot on defense. Unfortunately, the parts really aren't changing on offense. Now, the parts that would change are if you get a healthy Mahomes all year, obviously bringing in Ken Walker, attention to the running game changes. But nothing else has really changed for a 22nd ranked offense last year, except Bieniemy coming back. So the Chiefs, like I said,
and Rashee Rice will be available hypothetically for 17 games.
So they're cashing in on that. They're cashing in on the coaches. Because what the Chiefs did.
And the running game,
What the Chiefs did in the offseason and through the draft, they basically made the statement, we think it's more of a coaching issue than a talent issue.
It's easy to look back because the Chiefs season was such a disaster. But Bink, I know you watch every single second of every single game. The Chiefs offense wasn't great last year, but it's lying to the audience to pretend like they were crap. Bink, I've watched crap offenses in the NFL. They were near the top of the league in creating first downs. They were near the top of the league in yards per drive. They were near, they were middle of the road in yards per play. They weren't a bad offense. Well, they weren't a great one.
They were a bad scoring offense because they were bottom third in the league in that.
Isn't that?
But that was only after Mahomes got hurt. Before Mahomes got hurt, they were like 11th. They weren't that
They were
bad.
filtering right about 15, 11 to 15.
Well, I think also when we've talked about this before, it's the red zone stuff where between the 20s. They're really good, like you said, Cody. They have all the numbers. There are all the numbers support them being a top 10 offense, but then they can't score in the red zone. And I think that's whether it's I don't know what it honestly is. I mean, they're too reliant on, or they're realizing how reliant they were on Travis Kelce, or it's the play calling is a little bit lackluster in that area, or they're just not executing. It could be a variety of different things, but because for me, it's hard to just look at, is a team a top offense based on how many points they score? Like if they're, because I think the numbers can lie a little bit about, well, this offense is so good, but then you look at the defense.
I didn't say so good. I just said it's average.
Well, I'm just saying in general. Like you might look at Seattle's offense is humming, but you might look and turn around and say, hey, Seattle's defense forced the most turnovers, so the field position was automatically better. That factors into it a little bit, where to me it's more of the yards per play sort of thing that can really show you how effective an offense can be or how ineffective they can be based on the red zone percentages and stuff like that as well, which I feel like the Chiefs have, that's probably the weak point on offense in the grand scheme of things has been their inability to score consistently, at least putting 6 up and, instead of just taking the field goals.
I pulled up the dates. Before Patrick Mahomes' injury, they were 11th in the NFL in scoring, 24.2 points per game. They were a full touchdown off of Detroit, who was scoring 30. So again, they were not in elite. They were not in a elite level offense. So did Dallas, who was a top 10 offense. So did Indy, who was a top 5 offense. If you're just curious, by the way,
all 3 of those teams missed the playoffs. Those are teams that scored more than Kansas City. Green Bay make the playoffs. They did, right? Yeah, and lost.
Now, here's the one part.
But they barely made it, Cody. They were in the wild card, I believe.
Yeah, I've talked about it. Here's the one part that helped the Chiefs' offense, and that's keeping Mahomes on the field. Because obviously when he's on the field more, they score more points. Third down defense was a deficiency. They gave up 43% of teams got a first down on third down. That's 4th worst in the league. Where they were number 1 was 4th down. And we haven't even seen that much. They sometimes give up an average of 57% teams have on 4th down against the Chiefs. And they were top 3, top 4 usually since Mahomes has been quarterback at teams going for it on 4th down. That slid into the 20s. You know why? Because the Chiefs were stopping. For some reason, they were good on 4th down and not 3rd down. They were stopping teams on 4th. And it was, of course, that's basically like getting a turnover. Yeah. Because it's essentially what it is because you're turning the ball over and Mahomes comes back out there. Yeah. So they were number 1 in the NFL, 26% on 4th down. Did not yield a lot of 4th down.
I know, but
and teams started doing it. But 3rd down was a problem because they were 4th worst in the NFL.
But I mean, we're talking 13 games. Like, there's ebb and flow in it. There's turnover stuff, as you mentioned, Drew, which helps Seattle's offense, obviously. The Chiefs' defense forced essentially 0 turnovers, and they were still 11th. And they got way better. They got way better in the running game and should hypothetically have more games healthy out of Xavier Worthy and way more games out of Rashee Rice that should make them better.
They actually ran for a little bit more than Patrick Mahomes' average since he's been quarterback. That's how bad the running game has been since he's been quarterback. Last year was kind of on par for their average of when he's been quarterback. Almost 10 yards more at different times during the season with this running game. As bad as it was last year, as a whole, and this team's won Super Bowls with it before, on whole was 10 yards better running the football.
Has Patrick Mahomes ever had a 1,000-yard rusher?
No. This is Kareem Hunt was the year before.
If he does, that needs to be an MVP season. Are you kidding me? I don't think he has. But if Patrick Mahomes ever runs for 1,000 yards in one season, he's the MVP.
He has never had a 1,000-yard rusher.
No.
He has never had a running back
I got what you're
get
saying.
1,000 yards for him. which is saying a lot about where the fact that their offense has still been that good despite that. When we come back, local college football win totals are out, and I got Jay Binkley in studio, which means KU, MU, and K-State. Let's see what the rest of the nation thinks about them.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
The FIFA World Cup is down to its final biggest matches, and there's no better place to be than Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform. Looking at the match today, obviously you're trying to decide where it's trading at. Right now, Argentina trading at 47%, England trading at 53%, meaning a $100 trade at Argentina would net a $205 return. A $100 return on England would return $179. You know, Spain was obviously behind the eight ball yesterday in the trading markets and ended up coming through. So you can check out the markets over there because on Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to get $10 when you trade 10. K-A-L-S-H-I, Kalshi, trade the beautiful game. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
not yet. But both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Community Blood Center has declared a blood emergency as our community faces a critically low blood supply. The Chiefs, KC Current, Sporting KC, and the Royals are partnering to urge KC fans to donate blood. And thanks, donate now through July 19th to receive a We Bleed KC Stadium bag. While supplies last, let's get out and save some lives. Walk-in donations are available at any of our centers, or schedule an appointment online at savealifenow.org.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Girl, it's back. We've been waiting. I love that honey pepper pimento sandwich.
And that pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite is everything. It's got that razzle-dazzle that makes you stop and say, okay, wait a minute.
I love the creaminess of the pimento cheese. It's savory, it's bold, it's flavorful.
Our faves are back. High five, girl.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi? For what?
Better not to know.
Get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in your price for 5 years and see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
At Metal by the Foot, we pride ourselves on delivering the highest quality metal to meet your exact needs. Located in Casey and Topeka, online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Back in here on Cody and Gold. Cody Tapp, Jay Binkley, Drew Nixon with you. We'll talk some World Cup soccer as Spain advanced. We'll get Argentina and England later today. Drew, can I meant to, I should have put it in the rundown, and I can't even imagine whether it's real or not. Yesterday, I was looking on Facebook Marketplace. Like, I like to look on there for, like, I want to replace my dining room chairs eventually or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I'll just look there every once in a while, see if something pops up. Whatever. Most of the time, you don't see anything. Do you know what was on there yesterday on my Facebook Marketplace? Team Argentina's communication studio from the World Cup 2026.
How much money were they asking?
It's listed for $40,000. I'm not kidding. This was on Facebook Marketplace.
40,000?
It looks like it's like a wall with 4 rooms. It looks like it would just be like it's like a painted, like artist painted trailer, I guess, with some doors. It claims, at least in the posting, that it was their communications thing for their team. This is just on Facebook.
Did Messi sit in that studio?
Don't know.
Because if so, then I think the 40,000 is worth it. But 40 grand?
Why is it on there?
Nothing's worth it.
This was on Facebook Marketplace yesterday.
Somebody probably said, well, we're not taking this with us. We literally built it for this.
Also, I got to ask this person who's selling it. I won't give her full name, but her name is Katie. She's sold other things on here. Why the hell is she the person selling? What does she own it?
Yeah, that
did she rent it?
That is.
Who's the person that has the rights to sell the entire Team Argentina communication studio? Can someone walk me through that?
If whoever's going to buy that, you need to at least check it out. Like, you need to go and see it before purchase. Like, I need to see this. I need you to show me.
I'm going to need some proof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you prove that, but I think I am going to need some proof.
What exactly do you get for the 40,000? I mean, what is that?
Just the studio. It is a trailer. Bank. It is a. Here, this is.
It's like game used.
You get this. You get this thing. And
So what do you do? For a lot of people who do Facebook Marketplace, where you show up at the police station or something, they have those designated lots.
I'm going to need like a crane or something to get that thing.
Would they bring that to the lot? Or do they show up at your house with it?
It's still got the chairs in it?
I will say, so
and the tables?
You just sent me a picture of it. It does look pretty sweet in terms of the outside.
Like, you just put it in the back of your house and you make it your mother-in-law suite? What are you supposed to do with that thing?
Can you imagine a mobile command for Chiefs training camp?
I would need to know if Messi and some of the players were in that studio.
I'm sure he was.
Because if they were, then I think that the $40,000 asking price actually it might be fair.
I'm just saying it's on Facebook Marketplace. It's listed as $40,000. It is listed as Team Argentina's communication studio from the World Cup.
That's got to be the most expensive, one of the most expensive things on Facebook Marketplace.
It just doesn't
40
think
grand.
I don't feel like that's. I gotta say, I feel like there should be, if you're not selling a car, there should be a limit of like $300 in Facebook Marketplace. What are we doing? 1,000? It's Facebook Marketplace. I'm looking for some chairs. You can't be asking me for $4,500 for something.
Yeah.
Come on, get the hell out of here.
Text line, that'd be great for Chiefs training camp, by the way.
I mean, if you had 40 grand,
how many,
yeah.
you know what? Cool. How many heroes do we need? Remember we used to do the old the heroes thing?
Too many.
How many people will we need? Hold on, it's $9.65 now. Our heroes used to come at $6.10, Drew. We would need 4,145 people to donate $9.65 to this show. And we could own Argentina's communications studio.
You know how sweet that would be for training camp?
Should we round that up to 5,000 people so that we can actually get this thing delivered? 5,000 people. That's what we need, Drew.
Where the heck would we put it?
No problem.
Like just somewhere in the parking lot? Or
yeah, I just put it out in the parking lot. It'd be a little side studio for us. We could host like cool stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what we do with it, Drew.
Just hang out there before shows after.
We would own it. I'll put it on one of my the shed that broke on my back decks. I'll just put it there.
Bring it to St. Joe.
It'll be the shed for the back of my yard.
You're asking for listeners to help you.
I'm asking
get a new
for 5,000 listeners to give me $9.65, and I'll be all squared away. I'll set it up like a mother-in-law quarters. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'll open it up to Airbnb, and you guys can stay there as a guest.
That actually would be the move.
You can stay at my
really
communication
cool.
studio.
That would be really cool.
That would fetch a lot at the auction next year.
I gotta put it up for the Cody Gold garage sale.
That would fetch a lot.
Fetch a pretty penny. Let's talk some college or football for just a minute. We can get back into that stuff later. Wild thing to see on Facebook Marketplace. But the college football totals got sent out yesterday. Drew had pointed them out to us. We got numbers for KU, MU, and K-State. Let's go through them one by one real quick and talk about the realistic nature of this, Bink. I know you love college football, and we are like a month away from week 0. When's the first game?
29th.
August 29th. We're a month and 2 weeks, basically.
Oh, we're a little bit further away than I thought.
But camp starts here soon.
Camp starts in a month.
But you can literally say real games start next month.
Yeah, I'll be in training camp in 2 weeks.
So you can say that.
So, that's not crazy at all. All right, let's start with the lowest of the totals. KU at 5.5. You guys think that's fair?
Yes.
I don't know how to, and this is the problem with KU. They are stuck. They were a laughingstock in college football. They're not a laughingstock anymore, but they've never taken another step towards, relevance. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how they do that without finishing the stadium, for one, finishing the facility so that it's a more attractive place for college athletes to go. But now that there are only 4 power conferences, shouldn't some of these lower tier ones find it a little bit easier, Bink, to be players? I can't find a way where Kansas gets more than 5.5. I got no confidence in their quarterback play. Their roster and total is fine. Their schedule's okay, I guess. But, Kansas at 5.5 feels about right.
And the one thing about it, too, is the excuses are gone. Indiana got rid of everybody's excuses. Even for the Kansases of the world. If you look at it and say, Kansas football's never been good. What do we expect? Indiana, literally, by what they did last year, they got rid of everything. Nobody has an excuse anymore.
You need to have the right coach, though. And I don't know. I think Lance Leipold was great for the build your program up, take it to where it can be a consistent, respected program, and then from there you elevate further. I'm not saying Lance Leipold can't go out and win 9 games like he did before, but if we're talking about doing what Indiana did, I don't know if that's in the capacity of what they have currently there.
Traditionally, it's not been a good football program. We know that. But nobody going into the year last year was worse historically than Indiana. They were number 1 of all teams ever in Division I for losses.
I know, but they won right away with Signetti, Bink, in his first year.
Yes.
They haven't done that with Lance.
And
Lance
Northwestern,
Leipold's not the guy.
Yes, and they've been passed now because they're currently number 2 all-time in losses. But if you're telling me, dude, Indiana football, nobody went to it. I mean, you can compare it to Kansas football through the years. As bad as Kansas football was, Indiana football.
I know.
Bad.
I grew up.
They were the doormat of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
The Big 12. Kansas has been the doormat of the Big 12. Now they've been better than that since. But if you look at the whole sum of the thing and say, well, this is the all-time losingest program. They suck. And then you have Kansas over here. And then Indiana goes out and has a Heisman Trophy winner and wins the national title. If you're a donor and you're giving big money, you're like, shouldn't we have expectations for a good bowl game? Hell, we have the losingest program in America, Indiana, winning a national title.
I know
finding
that,
the right coach and doing it. But what I'm saying is,
but Leipold's already not Signetti. We flat
that.
out know that. So unless you're just going to run him out of town and hoping and finding the one.
Google him.
No self-respective, no Kansas fan is going to sit and see what has happened in the Lance Leipold era and say, you know what? I'm expecting us to make the college football playoff next year. That's why when we had
Should
this
K-State think that way? Should Missouri think that way?
That's why when we had this conversation, I said the program that's most likely to be Indiana, that makes the most sense given everything, is K-State because they got a new head coach coming in, been there. We don't know anything about where we know enough about Eli Drinkwitz. We know enough about Lance Leipold and both of their eras as coach to know kind of what they are and what their ceiling is.
Here you go, all-time losses. Northwestern did pass Indiana last year. They have 7-18 now. Indiana 7-15. You know where Kansas comes in?
Third.
Fifth. 694. You know where K-State comes in?
10th? They had a really awful run before Bill
big
Snyder.
Eighth in total losses.
But
Vanderbilt rounds out the top 10.
It's interesting
at
because
673.
K-State's win total is 8.5. Their entire win total to me, they are easily the most difficult one to bet for me. Kansas, I feel like I got a good idea. MU's 6.5. I got a good idea. I understand their schedule and where they are, and we can talk about them in a minute. K-State at 8.5. So much, in my opinion, of their season is prefaced on the idea of, is Colin Klein Signetti? Not even that. Is he just like one of these, they found the guy and he's got it right away types?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. He could stink. Dude, I don't know that he will, but this happens with him.
I don't think he will, but we really don't know.
I would lean the under on them only because of the unknown. Not because I fear it or because their schedule or the roster talent's not there, but because of the massive unknown that I think sometimes we ignore. And I can't tell you if Colin Klein's a good head coach. I can't. I can't in good conscience know that.
So here's Kansas State's schedule. When's the first loss come?
The schedule is favorable for them.
You open against Nichols.
They'll win that one.
Washington State
should win that one.
Tulane at home should be a win. At Cincinnati
should win that one.
Should win that one. Versus Houston, but that's a home game.
It's a toss-up.
Home game,
or maybe
toss-up. Then October 17th, you've got Kansas.
Sunflower Showdown.
They have not lost to Kansas since 2008.
That's a lock.
There are kids enrolled at Kansas and Kansas State right now that were not alive the last time Kansas beat Kansas State. Think about it, man. That's 18 years ago, right? So there's freshmen at KU and K-State that weren't even alive, weren't even conceived. Mom and Daddy hadn't had the drinks at the nightclub to have you yet before Kansas has beaten Kansas State. It's been that long. All right, so we're already here. What are we at now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Arizona State.
6-0. So at Arizona State, different situation. We don't know a ton about Arizona State. Clearly, they took a step back last year with Sam Levitt when he's leaving now. So no Sam Levitt there at quarterback for Arizona. Then at Colorado.
They're not good.
That's Oklahoma State with
we don't know how good they are.
They should be better than at TCU. TCU should be
good.
A viable
Arizona,
football
good.
team.
Still, they got
and
no
then Arizona, and then at Iowa State. So honestly,
I would bet
you
the
see
over.
3 to 4. I would take the over with Kansas State as well.
I think they can go 9-3. I think they could lose that game to Houston. That's probably the toughest game they might have on the schedule.
I think the over for Kansas State very much in play.
To your point, though, Cody, I think that it's you're playing around a little bit with, their number's a little bit higher. You would think lower, but at the same time, the schedule is easier. But as you mentioned, you don't know how good Colin Klein is and if he can get the full potential out of Avery Johnson, which is also the other question, where Avery Johnson is now the vet in that locker.
Feels like there's something to unlock there, but he's really not.
It feels like there's something to unlock.
He's not been as advertised.
We haven't quite seen the guy that we thought he could be when he was getting some reps when Will Howard was still there. So there's definitely some fun conversations. And then Missouri, as we go to them real quick, Cody, I mean, they're 6.5. Their schedule is so difficult. I'll be honest, if it was 7.5, it'd be easier to bet for me. 6.5 is harder to bet for me.
Yeah.
Because I think they could find a way to win 7, but the schedule for Missouri is really, really difficult. The toughest that they've had here in the last 3 to 4 years.
And Ahmad Hardy, his condition. It looks good. He's been
Even
running.
With Ahmad Hardy, though, Bink, it's still very difficult.
I'm just saying, having perfectly healthy Ahmad Hardy leads the nation in rushing.
You want to know who they play this year, Cody? So they do play Kansas, but we're going to skip past that.
Missouri will start 3-0. I've looked at their schedule. Yeah. They'll start 3-0, and then
they
have Arkansas Pine Bluff.
We'll
first.
see.
They have a stretch. So Florida, we don't know how good they're going to be yet, but A&M, Ole Miss back to back. Then they
A&M even with their quarterbacks.
But A&M is a home game. A&M is a home game. Florida's a home game.
But Bink. Anytime this is the Missouri that we've watched the last 2 years. Anytime they play a good team, they've lost. They've lost every single time, except for Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. They weren't playing everybody.
No.
But every time they played a good team, they've lost. To end their season, they got Texas, Georgia, Kentucky, Oklahoma. Kentucky's going to be a lot improved this year. That's a tough 4-game stretch to end the season. So I wouldn't say 6-6 is out of the cards for this.
Yeah.
I think their peak is probably 7-5 or 8-4.
I think 7-5 would be a hell of a season.
7-5 would be a good season.
Based on this schedule and their current, I think that'd be pretty.
Question at quarterback.
Yeah.
With Austin Simmons, we don't know how good he is exactly yet.
No, but I think, no. I mean, and he was, he got run out of the last one, but that doesn't mean anything, Like quarterback, and that's the other, obviously, constant question in this is like, would you rather have a guy that you don't know or Avery Johnson who you know?
I would much rather Avery Johnson because I know, and somebody on the text line pointed it out, Colin Klein kind of got him to Manhattan in the first place. I think that relationship is why Avery stayed. He's been honest about that. I think that Avery and what Colin Klein did with Marcel Reed is kind of what you can maybe expect with Avery Johnson, where a dual threat type of guy can make the throws, but can what Colin Klein has built at A&M be transitioned over to K-State, where now that he's the guy running the show, can Avery Johnson step into that role and be a Marcel Reed type of an effective player where you've got the run game that's good, you've got some weapons that maybe aren't high-end talent, but you've got a good group of players, Garrett Oakley at tight end. I feel like they have the best potential to not just be the best local, as we've kind of discussed. The over-unders kind of just tell the story there, but maybe they can contend to make it to the Big 12 title game. I think they're 5-1 to make it to the Big 12 title game. So they're one of the upper end favorites to make it. I think they've got a legit shot at making some noise, but
they're the only one I think can make the college football.
There's some tough games though. That Marcel Reed coming in. I'll tell you, you haven't been down there for a game yet, Drew, have you?
To where?
Mizzou.
To Manhattan? No, I have not been to Mizzou yet. I've been to Manhattan.
November 7th, versus Texas. That's a good ticket to have.
It's not a bad one.
Man, that's gonna be that game.
Woo. Can we see some arch?
I know. I'm not mad about seeing the arch or seeing the Cam Coleman. I want to see myself a good game, and I just
it might be.
There's enough questions about Missouri, and based on what we've seen in the past, what have they given you that goes to show you they'll win that football game, or even be in it?
Well, the one thing is with the offense, Caden Green back there with them at left tackle right there.
That helps, but it's still about the quarterback play. It's been the quarterback play this entire time. Running back has been great for them in the last few years. They haven't had the quarterback play. The defense has been great the last couple of years, but they haven't had the quarterback play to win those big games where, based on the opponents, Missouri could go 6-6 and lose to everybody who's really good and just take care of business
Simmons
against everybody else.
I really liked Simmons when he played early on at Ole Miss.
Coming up, we'll try to fix some of college football with Bink and Drew and myself, and we'll get some of your opinions on that. Plus, there's a wide receiver list out for Jeremy Fowler, and I think it told me something I didn't realize about the sport maybe, or I hadn't been paying enough attention to realize that I felt so strongly about it once I got in there. But Bink, you've continuously pointed out, we've talked about what people think about the Chiefs' upcoming season, the expectations for the upcoming season, and over at CBS, they put together their list of the top-ranked coaches in the NFL. Not surprisingly, they had Andy Reid, number one. Somebody else had a list that had current head coach, Andy Reid 1. CBS did the greatest NFL coaches of all time, and had Andy Reid 8th. You think that's unfair?
I do think it's unfair.
8th is pretty good, though. I mean, Bink. I mean, they don't have him that far down the list. Why is it unfair?
Me get into it now?
Yeah, let's do it. Let me hear it.
Well, for one, what's the end goal? Winning the Super Bowl. And I get it when you throw all time in there. That's a big difference there. But he is 4th all time in coaching wins. He's number 2 all time in postseason wins, only 3 behind Bill Belichick. And here's the kicker for Andy Reid. And you are hard-pressed to find another coach like this. Matter of fact, Belichick's the only guy with the 44.8% chance. Every year Belichick coached, all his years, 44.8% of the teams he was in the AFC title game. However, Andy Reid has coached 27 years. He's been in the AFC or NFC title game 12 times. You do the math, 12 into 27, that's 44.4% of Andy Reid's seasons he's been in the AFC or NFC title game. Listen, we look at coaches and you put bouquets at their feet. It's a great coach and what he's doing, but nobody's got that kind of track record. Andy Reid is close to a coin flip every season as he can go to the AFC or NFC title game. And you pair him with Mahomes and it's out the roof, 7 of the last 8 years, been in the AFC title game. So when you're at 44% and you've coached for more than a quarter century, and you're in the AFC or NFC title game, you
think
deserve
that should be the best stat?
You deserve to have a lot more run.
Here are the guys who were ahead of him, by the way, on their list. They had Bill Belichick 1. That's not surprising. Vince Lombardi 2. Don Shula 3, Paul Brown 4, Bill Walsh 5, George Halas 6, Joe Gibbs 7, Chuck Knoll 8. I'm sorry, they had him down to 10th. That's just John Breach. That's somebody else's list. The aggregate list had him 8th. But those are some of the names who were ahead of him. Chuck Knoll, George Halas, Bill Walsh, Don Shula, and others. I will say, this just goes back to the normal thing, which is, I think sometimes these lists are really bad unless you're willing to. I feel like we should just vote on in my life. Because I'll be honest, the sports change a lot.
Lifetime.
And I didn't watch George Halas coach.
Smaller season, 14 games.
Yeah. Well, no salary cap. Nobody ever leaves your team. It wasn't that hard for Chuck Knoll, I guess is my point. It was hard, but it wasn't as hard as being a modern day NFL coach. They got tape on you. They have experience. They didn't even know what the hell you were doing in the 1960s. And so, for a huge part of this, it's it was less teams, or some of these guys were pre or post merger, but before the rest of the league had caught up. Yeah. It's the only arguments I think of guys who should be listed ahead of him are Bill Belichick. I think you can make your argument for Don Shula. He is the all-time wins leader. He did not win with elite level quarterbacks. He went to a lot of AFC championship games and Super Bowls.
Dan Marino.
Yeah, but he didn't have, that was leader. I guess that was the back half.
He won 2 rings. He won an NFL title when he was with Baltimore. But the most wins ever. Belichick, Reed, Landry, Shula, Gibbs, Knoll. Harbaugh, Holmgren, Coughlin, Cowher. That's your top 10 in wins. In postseason. That's postseason. So Don Shula's 4th all-time with 19 wins in the postseason. Andy Reid has 28 playoff wins. 28. Belichick, number 1, he's got 31, meaning one good run to the Super Bowl again, or just a couple of years of winning a playoff game here and there. Andy Reid's number 1 all-time. He's that close, only 3 behind Belichick for playoff wins. That's impressive. 4th all-time in wins, number 2 all-time in postseason wins. He's going to go
down as one
and he's got 3 rings.
He's going to go down as one of the 5 best. I don't think anybody's making that argument. I think the biggest argument in his favor is how often he was in the NFC Championship game with McNabb. How often he was able to get near the finish line with a quarterback that we don't think is, because that's the argument against Belichick. He had Brady the whole time.
Yeah.
Andy Reid, he wasn't winning Super Bowls, but boy, he was getting it done.
5 times.
With a bunch of he didn't take Alex Smith to a title game, though. He took McNabb there a bunch of times. And he took Alex Smith to the playoffs and won some divisions and all this other stuff.
The fact that almost half of his seasons have been to the AFC title game
is a crazy number.
Or NFC title game is pretty bonkers. And like you said, Belichick did it too, but Belichick did it with the same guy. Where Andy doing it with multiple quarterbacks is it's like
Noel did it with pretty much the same guy, right?
It's almost like the winning titles. Like if Andy would have won a title with the Eagles and then came over and won one with the Chiefs, it's hard to argue with that sort of resume where nobody else has really done the things that Andy Reid has done other than Bill, but Bill did it with a consistent amount of years with Tom Brady, where Andy doing it with Donovan and then doing it with Alex Smith and then doing it with Patrick Mahomes, obviously, it makes it hard to argue. That is your argument, I think, for even if he doesn't get to the amount of rings that Bill Belichick has, the fact that he's done it with multiple quarterbacks and multiple teams makes it
2 franchises,
super impressive.
Yeah, the all-time winningest 2 franchises as far as wins. But when you look at Reid and where Mahomes sit, this is historical type stuff these guys are putting up. When you have a head coach number 2 all-time in postseason wins, you have a quarterback number 2 all-time in postseason wins. That's right here in Kansas City. This train's not stopping anytime soon. So you have that coach-quarterback combination like that. But I don't think people realize 44% of Andy Reid's seasons, he's been in the AFC or NFC title game. That is an amazing feat. Because oftentimes we look at head coaches and everybody loves them and how good they are and whatever. If they were getting to the postseason that frequently, especially the AFC title game or NFC title game, man, I remember the Cowboys extremely excited a few years ago when they got the 10 wins.
Yeah.
Things are changing now. We got the double-digit wins. Andy Reid averages 12 wins a year.
I know.
And not only that, it's can you adapt? Andy Reid shows he can adapt. 2024, this team is totally different than the one in St. Joe. When Hollywood Brown gets hurt in the first preseason game, Rashee Rice goes down in game 4, and he took that team to a Super Bowl. With your number 1 is an undersized first-year rookie wide receiver in Xavier Worthy. Without a 1,000-yard receiver. He hadn't had a 1,000-yard receiver in 2 years. but yet he went to the Super Bowl with that group. I mean, he had to adapt and change his philosophies, but he's been as consistent as you can get. When you're 28-17 in the postseason, honestly, he'll pass Belichick. Like, that'll be the part. He won't get him in total wins, but he'll beat him in postseason wins.
He'll probably get him in postseason wins, but he probably won't get him in total. When we come back, we'll talk a little wide receiver. Jeremy Fowler's list over at ESPN from the GMs and Scouts is out, and it told me one very telling thing. Plus, we'll have trash of the day and an unfortunate incident at the DMV.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Cole Reagans, and you're listening to Cody and Gold. Weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Hi, I'm Jacob, your friend and an actual jeweler craftsman at Shane Company. I'm proud to work for a family business that's been committed to the highest quality standards for nearly 100 years. Your dream engagement ring is designed for quality every step of the way. We set your diamond by hand, not with machines. Prong tips are beautiful and secure, and intricate details are thoughtfully crafted. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend knows true love deserves the highest quality. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Men, if your energy is down, your workouts aren't producing results, you're gaining stubborn weight, losing muscle, sleeping poorly, or just not feeling like yourself anymore, it may be more than just aging. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. Our low T and body composition treatments are designed to help men regain energy, improve focus, sleep better, build lean muscle, reduce unwanted fat, and restore confidence both in and out of the gym. At Heartland Men's Health, we specialize in helping men optimize their health, performance, and vitality. Using personalized medical treatments tailored to your health and goals, many men begin noticing improvements in energy, mental clarity, recovery, motivation, libido, and overall body composition within just a few weeks. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, PSA and T-test, and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens. The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2 up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Let's say you put your money on Leo Messi in Argentina. They go up too early in the first half. Well, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you will instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. You like Ronaldo in Portugal. You like Harry Kane in England. Whoever it may be, don't miss your shot at an early win with 2 up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals. Regardless of the final outcome of the match, make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. Please gamble responsibly.
That'll be $84.52.
Perfect. Grab the bags, honey.
Mom, why do you always check your phone before we pay?
I'm just claiming my cash back on the Upside app. Since we're getting the groceries here and we filled up the car on the way, I've already earned enough this morning to pay for that pizza night we're having Friday.
Wait, so the app pays for pizza?
Not exactly, but the cash I earn on stuff we need helps us pay for the stuff we want. It's just a little win for our family every week.
Get more out of your everyday. Upside is the free app that gets you cash back on routine purchases like gas, groceries, and dining out at more than 100,000 locations nationwide. No points, no rebates, just cash back straight to your wallet. Download the free Upside app and use promo code RUN5 to get a $5 bonus on your first purchase. That's promo code RUN5 to get a $5 bonus. Remember, use promo code RUN5.
Offers vary by user and location of participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Steve here with Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. Over the summer, trees get hungry and the roots look for water and they break clay sewers. So this month, we are offering a camera inspection and diagnosis for only $129. Catch an issue before you get surprised. If it's bad, we can help. If it's good, we will help you have peace of mind. If you haven't used us yet, we would love to win you over. Visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700, plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy Posturepedic mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Hour number 2 here, Cody and Gold, Cody Tabb, Jay Binkley, Drew Nixon with you. We will continue to talk a little bit more college sports here in just a few minutes. Plus, we'll get to the trash of the day in about 15 or so. But we've continued to talk about the series from Jeremy Fowler over at ESPN.com, where execs, coaches, and scouts rank the NFL's top players by position group. And today, Bink, it was wide receiver. Now, look, normally we do these lists because we have like a bit of a conversation. Drew would be like, oh, where's Travis Kelce ranked? It was too low, by the way. Or where's Ken Walker put on the list, you know? Where are these guys as it relates to the rest of the thing? We all know the Chiefs weren't going to have a guy on the top 10 at wide receiver.
No.
What I realized in watching this, though, Bink, is Rice isn't as far off from being on this list as I thought, and here's why. In my head, there is borderline versus maybe most positions in the NFL. It feels like a near endless supply of elite level, really good, supercharged wide receivers. And the second I started going through this list of the rest of these people, I started to realize that there aren't as many great wide receivers as I realized. Their list: Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Jackson Smith and Jigba. No one's arguing here, right? Those are elite level guys at the top of their game. Puka Nacua, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then what happened after that was I realized some of these guys are really good, but I was thinking that there was more elite level Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase types, because then there's a drop off in my opinion. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, those are good wide receivers. Nico Collins, these are on the list. These are really good wide receivers. AJ Brown, guys you'd love to have on your roster, but nowhere near the caliber of the guys I just mentioned. So I've already taken a drop off from the top 5 into the bottom 10. And then I looked at the honorable mention list, and I realized, it got like everyone's kind of the same in a hurry. Evans, Malik Neighbors, Zay Flowers, Drake London, Jamison Williams. I'm not even here to tell you those are bad wide receivers. Alec Pierce, T. Higgins, DK Metcalf, these are 1,000-yard guys. 1,000-yard guys in the NFL aren't a dime a dozen, Bink, but there's more than enough. Rashee Rice, at his peak, is in the category of all these honorable mention players. Ladd McConkey, Devonta Smith. Alec Pierce had 47 catches last year, Bink, for 1,006 yards. I don't think
Never
I
had over
realized
52,
there's
I
a
think,
drop
right?
off after the top 5, but the drop off from like 9, 10 is like just literally everyone else is in a kitty together, and there's no real
And they can
difference.
rotate around.
Yeah, and there's no real difference in quality.
There's receivers
and
that
that
could get
Rashee
in there,
Rice
though.
could
Like
easily.
Ibuka could.
I know, but they're
T-Mac.
not. But they're not.
They're not yet, but 1 year with them, they can quickly get in this
I'm
list.
sorry, but if Alec Pierce and T. Higgins are getting honorable mention top 10 wide receivers, well, then outside the top 10, the depth isn't that good. And that doesn't mean they're not good, Drew. But what that does mean is that those are stereotypical good wide receivers.
If you're in the top
that
10, you would
most
think
of the league has.
Yeah, if you're in the top 10, you would think, okay, these are these are elite players. All of them are
and
top
it
of their
wasn't
game.
like that.
Where it doesn't, like if you put T. Higgins is an honorable mention as a 2. He's not even a 1.
No.
And he's getting honorable. So I think that's where it gets, for Rashee Rice, he's definitely close to that conversation.
He's closer than we want to admit.
Where I mean, to what you and Gold have been talking about, particularly over the last couple of weeks, but I know, Bink, you've chimed in on this too. If Rashee Rice has the year, if he's fully healthy and has the year that we think he could have, I wouldn't be surprised if he was getting listed as one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. If not, maybe even sneaks into that top 10.
Was it lower than you guys realized? Because I pulled up the yardage total leaders in the NFL, and I didn't realize how mediocre the list was at 1,000 yards. Michael Wilson, Ted McMillan, who played all 17 games and got just barely over 1,000 at 10-14. Wan'Dale Robinson had 1,000. Like Chris Olave at 1,100. Or Zay Flowers at 12, right? He had a good season. Ibuka had 938, to your point, Bink. Drake London had 924. You're trying to tell me right now, just to have consideration to being a top 10 wide receiver, you don't even have to get to 1,000 anymore? You can just be like 970? Well, then Rashee Rice is in this conversation.
It depends also
Like,
on the
genuinely.
quality of number 2s you have, the number 3, your quarterback play, the quarterback suffer injuries, do you have backup quarterback in there? But I think a lot of times you have to look at the number 2 receiver and say, all right, did they spread the ball around?
T. Higgins had
Do they turn around and hand the
846
ball?
last year.
Do they hand the ball around?
Yeah.
Well, like JSN, he leads the NFL in receiving yards, but he also had a 1,000-yard runner, Ken Walker.
Ladd McConkey got a vote. He didn't even have 800 yards.
He had a bad year.
Did it makes me think what
Jalen Waddle
did
was the
Ted
same.
McMillan get votes or did he not get any votes?
He got votes.
Okay, I was gonna say if he got over 1,000, and we all think Bryce Young is, I don't know, average, probably at best in terms of quarterback rankings, in the middle. I mean, you put him on.
Oh, I apologize.
On any other roster with like a top 5 quarterback, any of those rosters, and it's like, okay, Ted is one of the best wide receivers in the league, probably.
But I
at
guess
that
in my head, wide receivers, like we'd been spinning like the last, and this is where I got like some shock in it, is that for the last 5 years, we've done nothing but be like wide receivers in every draft. They're all stars. They're all great. They come immediately into the league and matter.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm starting to realize that all you really have to be is like a 950-yard wide receiver to be considered one of the better ones.
Which is
Like,
bad
you know,
for a 17
and I was like,
season,
really?
17-game season.
Yeah. I thought it was better. I thought Rashee Rice needed to get ahead of more people than that. And then I realized that all the people who are also receiving votes, he's as good as.
Jalen Waddle's
He's as
even
good
in
as Ladd McConkey and Chris Olave at this point. Not maybe
Alec
his
Pierce.
career. Alec Pierce, DK Metcalf. When he's on the field, he's as productive as those guys. He's actually at times, weirdly enough,
More productive.
than a lot of the guys we just mentioned. Like, and so it is kind of hard to imagine in some ways that
Jalen Waddle was slighted in this, though, I feel.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
He received votes.
Yeah, he's better than that. I mean,
But-
for
but
Tyreek
he's
Hill
been a
to be
number 2,
honorable
though.
mention.
He's probably
gonna-
hurt based on the time that they did this vote because of Tyreek because Tyreek also received some votes in this.
He got honorable mention.
Yes, I wonder if, like
But is he that much? He had 910 yards last year.
The Jalen Waddle thing is very similar to the T. Higgins thing to me.
Yeah,
is
it's like fine.
they've been number 2s for basically their entire career. What is it like when they're the number 1? I know that in Denver it could still be more of a split thing, but it feels like Jalen Waddle will at least be more of the guy than he was maybe in Miami at least. Like what type of season could Jalen Waddle have compared to years past?
But Jalen Waddle in his NFL career averages 1,000 yards a season and 5 touchdowns. That's like
So
Bink's like
he should
he
be higher
deserves
on the
more.
list than to your point.
I
Brent, for
mean,
that.
maybe, but like that's it.
But that's sharing
Like
it with
in my
Tyreek
head,
Hill.
in my head, that's all it takes. And all it made me realize is, oh, okay, got it. I got to stop. What I came to realize in this is for the Chiefs in particular.
They don't need that Jamar Chase guy.
Yeah, I gotta stop wishing for that. That I have been too pie in the sky, too delusional in some regards. That for all this time that I'd be like, hey man, there are a lot of, in my head, there are a lot of like top end wide receivers. No, there's not. There's 5. There might be less top end wide receivers than there are quarterbacks. Or it's about the same number. Remember when we said there's 5 guys?
Yeah.
Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Stafford, Allen, Mahomes.
Yeah.
It's Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Puka Nakua. And if you're feeling nice, throw in your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown because he's been near the end. If you're stretching it, CD. But I mean,
I think CD could be in there easily because you're talking about a guy with 6 straight 1,000-yard years.
Yeah, I like CD, but yeah, you're
or 5.
I think you're right. I wonder if how that list, if you were to take,
CD's had like a 1,700-yard season, so I'd probably include
I wonder if you were to take that list right there and look at and then look at the numbers from I don't know like 2014 or something like that, because you'd have Julio, DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green. I wonder if there were more, if it's the same amount of top end where it's like, oh, they're only about 5 or 6, or if the wide receiver position actually was more quote unquote elite 10 years ago.
And if there's a lot of good wide receivers, but they're not all great.
Yeah, here was your top 10 in 2014. Antonio Brown, 1698. Demaryius Thomas, 1619. Julio Jones, 1593. Jordy Nelson, 1519.
I want to remind you, this
is
a
16-game season.
Yeah, 16 game, yeah.
Then Emmanuel Sanders, T.Y. Hilton, Golden Tate, Des Bryant, Jeremy Maclin, and Odell Beckham.
This is more guys with over 1,300 yards than last year. Is that the product of people switching to the run game?
Less games.
But like, there's a huge chunk of guys on this list that had like 970 yards.
The fact they've done it,
who got a vote.
The fact that list you read off, Bank, is in 16, is in one less game too. That's kind of fascinating.
It is. 14 was some numbers put up.
I mean, in terms
by
of the
some
guys
Golden Tates and stuff.
By the way, the following year's better too. Julio Jones, 1871. Antonio Brown, 1800. Hopkins, 1500. Brandon Marshall, 1500. Odell Beckham, 1450. Allen Robinson, 1400. Demaryius Thomas, 1350. AJ Green, 1300. Larry Fitzgerald, 1200. Calvin Johnson, 1200. Does this not sound like a better list?
Yeah.
If we did the NFL execs give us a top 10 list of 2015, it buries this.
It just,
like, it's not as hard as you think to have one of the better, and I mean that as a bit of a slight, a better wide receiver in the NFL. Rashee Rice is like
he's
1,100-yard wide receiver season away from being like 12th on this list.
And we know that if it's a fully healthy season, he would give you that.
But you go back to 2023, as recent as that, you had 7 guys, well, almost 8 over 1,300 yards because Nico had 1,297. So you had almost 8 guys with at least 1,300 yards. That was just 3 years ago.
2023?
2023.
Maybe it's just a product of the league changing. I was just surprised by what I thought was not mediocrity on the list. But I don't watch Drake London and I'm like, oh, he's that dude. It's like, it's a good wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice wide receiver to have, No complaints, but, it's fine.
He's not Justin Jefferson.
No, it's like there's 5, 6 guys, and then the list takes a huge drop off essentially after that. Pickens is 6th, according to NFL scouts. Is George Pickens the 6th best wide receiver in the NFL?
I think CD is better than him. I think Pickens is good because of CD.
Pickens is 7th. CD is 6th.
Okay. They both trade off each other so well. CD feels like he's not the same type of player, but he feels like Mike Evans to me, where Mike Evans had that stretch of 1,000-yard seasons where the dude was just...
CD had a 14 and a 1,700-yard season, so he's got some big ones.
CD's had some big ones, but I think puts him over Mike Evans. But I think, Bink, you said that he has had a 1,000-yard season every year of his career so far?
Not every year, but 5 of them. CD has only had, he's only had 1 year where he didn't have 1,000 yards. That was 935. That was his rookie year. He had 935, but it's been 1,000 yards every year.
It does feel like, Cody, this upcoming draft with Jeremiah Smith and Cam Coleman and
maybe that's going to supercharge it.
I think it's going to supercharge up the top end of that list a little bit more, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, it's interesting. The list had me fascinated for more than one reason. We'll get
to
the
wide
trash
receiver
today.
class is pretty good.
Yeah, we'll get to the trash today coming up in about 6 minutes or so. But I posed a question to you guys in the pre-show, and I'm curious what college football fans would say. I see all these meetings, right? Big 12 had their meetings, ACC having them now. You see the revenues come up. You see today that the SEC and the Big Ten are going to go meet with meet with senators and try to figure out what things they want to include into the Protect College Sports Act and all this other stuff. what is the move the Big 12 should be making in order to protect themselves? And if you're saying, hey, we cover the Big 12 and the SEC in this city because Missouri's in the SEC, SEC doesn't have to do anything to save itself. They could. Big 12 does. What should they be doing to watch their ass, Bink? I want to be thinking ahead in the Big 12 for the first time and stop being reactionary. Do they need to make sure they get enough teams in the Protect College Sports Act? Do they need to make sure that expansion, is that important to them? Do they need to make sure that the TV revenue, what is the thing the Big 12 needs to do to make sure they're safe?
Well, first of all, back off the Brendan Sorsby deal, because that was the one thing that...
Just shut up about it?
Yeah, well, their top team was heavily laden with Brendan Sorsby news.
You mean Texas Tech needs to back off of it?
Well, yeah, just kind of back off and get that perception gone from the Big 12 there.
Helpful.
But they want the college football expansion like everybody does, but the Big 10 or SEC, I don't really know what they can do to separate themselves. I don't think there's anything outside the box you say, well, they need to expand or they need to be forefront on getting college football playoffs, because things are going well for them. I mean, money and revenues coming into different schools within this team. You have a Texas Tech, just kind of a middling average programmer on college football, all of a sudden lead college football in name, image, and likeness money. So we've seen an influx of the money coming back to the Big 12, but I don't see a ton of stuff that they can do to kind of separate themselves at this point, to be honest.
I don't know if it's...
Is there not something they can do to make themselves safer than the ACC, safer than these others? Or do they just have to, not get odds with... Because right now, the Big Ten and the SEC are trying to make you choose sides. Should they choose a side? Or should they just stay out of it? Because they have kind of chosen the Big Ten. Is that the right call? Or is the SEC going to come with the guillotine at some point for everybody?
Well, I mean...
For not choosing their side.
Yeah, but if you're the Big 12 and you choose the SEC side, you're only going to get one team in the playoffs.
Do they need to add teams? Do they need to add Washington? Over on Twitch, they said add Wazoo, Oregon State, UConn, and USF. Get bigger. Make it harder to get rid of you.
I mean, with the Protect College Sports Act, they're not going to be able to expand anymore. I think
it's done.
But that's not done. That's not through yet.
Yeah, but I think expansions. I think it's kind of dead. Even right now, I think it's still dead from. I don't know what you're adding. I don't. I mean, unless they wanted to, if they didn't pass the act and North Dakota State makes the playoff and it's like, you know what, we're going to add them because it fits geographically within our region to some extent. I know that they've moved to Florida and everything like that, but
I think they missed the ball on Oregon. Big 12 kind of set back.
Was Oregon actually going to come into the Big 12 though, Bink?
No. I'm saying they missed the boat on that. When the Oregon was just kind of, floating out there, where are they going to go? Where are they going to jump for expansion? Because bringing in Arizona State. I mean, I think Oregon
honestly,
should
they probably
have been
thought they were
top of
fishing
mind.
in too big of waters. They probably didn't think they had any chance at Oregon.
Yeah, I think they did well in terms of what, particularly from the basketball end as well. But they've done good from the Big 12 side. I think they should want expansion because you get more publicity. There's more teams. You would at least get 2 teams in, potentially more, depending on how the rankings shifted. But
I always thought Oregon should have been their priority, but it wasn't.
They are in a way playing keep up, even with the ACC now, because a year or two ago, they were, I would say, in equal footing with the ACC because Clemson had kind of fallen off. Miami wasn't that great still, but now the fact that Miami made it to a national title game in football, and we know how good they are in basketball. Obviously, the Big 12 is dominant, but the ACC still has Duke and those teams. It feels like they're almost playing catch-up with the ACC in terms of national relevance.
Yeah. That's why I'm asking what they should be doing.
That's the hard thing about it is I don't know if
magically make one of their teams a national title contender.
That might be the answer. Where
I'll go aboard somebody.
That might be the answer. Where it had Arizona State beaten Texas in the playoff, had Texas Tech beaten Oregon, or let whoever makes it this year. If you can get a playoff win, I think at that point. If you can assert yourself as a legitimate national title contender in football, that's where you catch up to the rest of the group more than anywhere else, I think. Because as we know, basketball, they're the best conference, but that can only get you so far with college hoops compared to the football side of things.
We can talk more about it coming up here in the 1 o'clock hour. But first, Drew, let's get to it.
Trash of the day.
Head to Florida Bank for this trash of the day, where a Florida woman has received a license plate she says she did not order. Why don't we hear it from an ABC affiliate down there?
New tonight, an elderly Florida woman wasn't happy with the license plate she recently received. The letters and numbers she received have a message she just doesn't necessarily want to put on her car.
And I looked at it and I said, I don't think so.
You can see the plate reads SQZA 55. But those numbers can be seen as the letter S and, well, squeeze, yeah, you get the picture.
Squeeze ass.
Nancy Stritto says when she went to collect her mail, she didn't even expect to get a new license plate. The plate become the talk around her retirement community down in Pompano Beach, especially among the fellas. This is what happened when she showed it to one of the 89-year-old neighbors.
And this is what I received from the DMV for my new license plate. That's good for 10 years. Good. Good?
He doesn't mind. An office's manager confirmed that Broward County will replace the plate deemed offensive for free at their plantation office. So far, though, she says she might still keep it.
Put it on the car. It says squeeze ass. She's in her 80s.
100%.
Also, what the hell are they giving her a 10-year license plate? She's in her 80s.
Where's your car in the parking lot? Oh, it's the one that says squeeze ass on it.
Man, can't miss it. And especially like with the Florida plate, somehow that's even more ludicrous.
Hey, Edith, it's the one with squeeze ass on it.
I mean, unbelievable.
She should at least
the older
keep it
guy
as
was
like a joke. Because
yeah,
it's great.
Oh yeah, I mean, at the very least, just to hold on to the plate and keep it in your house. You know, put it up as a piece of decor. I don't care.
Yeah, the fact that she brought it up to the man and he goes, good.
I'm glad it says squeeze ass. What a creep.
Man.
That guy sounded weird as hell. He seemed real excited about it, Drew.
Good.
He was happy about that plate. Someone like
he was a little excited. He was.
I thought that the states have checkers so that stuff like that doesn't.
It does give off
fly through the
supposed
system.
to have it.
I mean, I thought we were supposed to catch it.
Some states do.
855. That feels like that's an easy catch. That feels like immediately everybody knows what's going on.
It does give
on
off
that one. The squeeze one, maybe you don't think, but the second someone puts 855 on there, know they're trying to spell ass.
Yes, 100%.
How's that one not get caught?
It does give off Seinfeld vibes when Kramer got the Ass Man plates and put that on on his car. It does give off because he didn't expect those either.
Maybe he's a proctologist. What do you think What do you think the person who ordered those plates originally? What do you think they're?
I mean, either they got like a BBL or something to draw attention to themselves.
Yeah, I guess
in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I was like. Maybe they just like doing that. What's
that might be.
What's the impetus behind the plate from the original person is something I'm curious.
If you were picturing a guy with squeeze ass license plate, what would you picture? Would you picture the flowing
creep.
mullet,
yeah,
the Trans Am hopping
I
out
would
of
think
it?
If that's on a male, real creep. You have to let the whole world know you like to squeeze
bro,
ass?
I'm going up to the DMV, man. I'm gonna get squeeze ass on the plate.
I assume he listens to Motley Crue and his T-top.
Hell yeah.
Trans Am still.
Hell yeah. I'd party with that
never
dude.
changed cars from the 80s. He's balding, but he's wearing the mullet.
Yeah.
He's got a real vibe.
You'd want that guy over at your fantasy football parties and whatnot. You'd want to see squeeze ass start rolling in that parking
somebody's
lot.
ratting you out, Cody. They say your plate says tap that. So
I've never had a
why are you
personalized
judging?
plate.
Tap that.
I mean, my name lends itself to some options in that category, but it's not outside of there. Someone says, there goes Cody with its ageism comments again. I don't think it's unfair to say that if you're over the age of 85, you should get tested for your driver's test yearly. I don't think that's ageism. I think that's safety.
It's ageism.
Yeah.
85, Bing. I didn't say 65. Would 90 make you feel better? My grandpa drove till he was 93.
Perfect. You
94.
can still do it. Do it.
He's 96 years old now. If he needs, we'll take him somewhere if he needs to go.
Still drive.
Jeez. So, Raymore's catching heat. From the 417, it goes to the average Raymore citizen.
Oh, it's not nice.
Damn.
Not nice at all.
Someone says it's got to be someone like Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force or essentially just Quagmire from Family Guy. People making their predictions on what that guy looks like. The person whose original plate that was scheduled to go to. Someone says my girlfriend's sister has Ho on her license plate. H0E. She was very excited to keep it.
Oh.
How does that not get caught, though?
Maybe, I don't know.
When it gets run through, they're supposed to be checking that stuff, you think?
I've never considered getting a personalized plate. Have you ever had one, Mick?
No.
Drew?
I know.
Never?
Squeeze ass would be cool.
Let's see if we can get you that one on the
I've
Missouri
thought
side.
about what I would put, I guess, before, but I would not get one. No chance.
See if we can make that happen, at least on that end. That's the trash of the day. When we come back, the NFL may be looking to be a little bit more transparent, or at least Sean Payton thinks they should be. And we'll get back into what would have to happen for one thing to happen on the Chiefs this season.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel's changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore with FanDuel's Super Sub. If your player's subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. Your bet stays alive, keeping you in the action longer. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the game page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically transfers to the substitute who replaces them. Go to FanDuel.com/local. That's FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook's the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help, and help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
Hi, I'm Carter. And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack. Jack had a home he needed to sell fast. And Jack thought he had it all figured out. So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers. Jack chose the highest offer. But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out, leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do. Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer. Jack got suckered. Make sure you aren't hung out to dry. Call our dad at Rex Buys KC. Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals. No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises. Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process. Now, don't be like Jack. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
The corrupt political establishment. If you're ready to give them the finger, Taylor Burks is your man for Congress. Taylor Burks, America First conservative, outsider, 3 combat deployments as a naval commander. Taylor Burks will stand with President Trump against rhinos and the corrupt establishment. In Congress, Burks will always put America first. He'll work with Trump to deport every last illegal, ban communist China from owning 1 inch of our land, and protect our elections by passing the SAVE Act once and for all. So if you want to tell off the political establishment, conservative warrior Taylor Burks, an America First patriot for Congress. Paid for by Show Me Valor PAC. www.showmevalorpac.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Show Me Valor PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
This is the Game of the Week report, brought to you by Hyundai. On Monday night, the Pro Wrestling League brings its live television and ring action to Detroit, where they'll host a night of live battles. The lineup of stars expected to perform includes CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Liv Morgan, and more, for a night that fans are sure not to forget.
The Game of the Week report is brought to you by the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. Learn how it's so much more than just another SUV at HyundaiUSA.com.
Get into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event and get away with a deal so right it almost feels wrong. Because right now you can get great deals on our most popular models, including our adventure-ready SUVs like the Hyundai Santa Fe or Santa Fe Hybrid and the Tucson or Tucson Hybrid. Plus, there's our bold and stylish Elantra, loaded with the latest tech, or go all-electric with the Ioniq 5 or Ioniq 9. So get down to your local Hyundai dealer and get away with a deal you'll love during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Visit HyundaiUSA.com for details.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Chiefs Red Half Hour here on Cody and Gold. Like I said, Cody Tapp, Jay Binkley with you. Bink, I got to say, the YouTube and the Twitch chats and the text line, I got a lot of interested parties. If I want to fire up an old GoFundMe for that Argentina communications trailer. If you missed it earlier,
you should get it.
On Facebook Marketplace, the Argentina team communications trailer outside their hotel is listed for sale for $40,000. We did the quick math. I need $4,100.
How much do you actually think you could get? If you put the GoFundMe, how much could you get?
Can GoFundMe, if we don't raise enough money to actually get the thing, can I just send everybody the money back? I want to make sure that it only goes to the thing that we're talking about. Or does it have to be one of those like startup ones where it's, not GoFundMe, but like a startup fund? Well, I can't.
I don't know if you can send
Kickstarter.
If you get,
can
money,
I do a Kickstarter?
send it back.
And then if we don't hit like the goal, everybody can just get their money back.
What did they use it for? Because they always did the press conferences separately. Did they use Sportings for those? For the actual press conferences?
Yeah. But this was obviously where the communications team met. Like what Drew asked is, did Messi ever sit in this? Maybe I can ask some questions to him.
I bet he did.
I think if you're going to buy it, you should be asking questions, at least those questions. And if they say, I don't know, you're going to have to come down from $40,000. I don't know if it's worth it.
I'm saying I'll do a Kickstarter for journalism. If we hit the number, if we don't hit the number, everybody gets their money back. If so, I'll turn it into a bar. And if you contribute, you get a drink at the bar. You get a drink at my Argentina. I'll put it right outside here at the station.
Use it for your class.
And we'll serve a couple of drinks.
Use it for your class.
Johnny Palumbo hate my ass if any of this happens.
Well, you have a class.
Use for my class?
Yeah,
teach them about communication.
Yeah, have your class.
Have a regular classroom. I don't need
your class fit in there.
I want this one to be fun for the people. I'm not kidding. It is up on Facebook Marketplace. You should look at it. They're listing it for $40,000.
I wonder if England's gonna
It looks
have
like
one.
it comes with a table and chairs and some of the other things the communication team sat with.
I bet
Someone
Messi
says, "Why
ate
on
a
earth do you
sandwich."
want it so bad?" I like my life to be a joke. Is mostly at text line. I don't take life serious enough.
That does scream. I've got $40,000 to blow. I'm just going to drop it on this. And even though it might be a waste of money, it's also cool to have because there's only literally one of these.
I don't have $40,000 to blow on it. That's why
you're asking people.
4,100 heroes. I think 4,500 heroes to cover some transportation costs. What do you think it costs to move that thing?
It's got a regular trailer hookup, right? So
maybe I don't know.
Any kind of
I need some kind of flat
ton
to put the thing on.
Full ton.
Just what?
Oh, I thought it had wheels with it.
No, it's like on the ground.
Oh, it didn't have wheels?
Doesn't look like it had wheels. It looked like it was like a cargo container, essentially,
It's a
right? Drew,
different
you saw the picture
situation.
I sent you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no wheels on it.
Someone said that would be the fan clubhouse. That actually would be
fan club clubhouse. We do fan club from out there with a piece of remote equipment. Hell yeah. The fan house?
Yeah, you definitely need
or you just find a way to
local
get
fan.
mics installed and everything like that. You make it into a nice, a really nice
Or have to
studio.
get one of those like AC units or something. That thing be hot as
You need
hell.
to think about that because
Might come with one,
that's got to
honestly.
be a real big expense to move that because you're going to have it lifted, hoisted onto that trailer. Then you got that. That's several $1,000s.
Fan
just to
club would
move.
That's why I said 4,500
Yeah, so
listeners,
if you
not
want to
4,100.
move, you better just stay wherever it's going.
Cody, fan club would be pretty sick down there.
Pretty lit.
Where it's like you You wouldn't be able to end the show necessarily, but like you do 3 hours here, and then you go back down, and then you go down to the
And to be
trailer.
clear, this person did not list it price firm. Maybe they got a little flexibility in this price.
That's where I think the questions have to come. How many
I'm just telling you right now,
Argentinian
if I said I got
players?
$30,000 for you, this person won't take it?
Well, and I think also I think if Messi was inside there, or if he wasn't, you need to take $10,000 off your price.
The real question is
how many players were stepped in this?
Who owns it? Like who's
Trailer.
selling it? You would think the Argentinian Soccer Federation would own it.
Someone named Katie.
What does she work for? Does it have what her bio is? What does she
That might
work
be
for?
like a not a
Well,
fake name.
I don't want to put
but
her on
No,
blast.
I mean, does she work for the organization?
Maybe we can get.
It might be one of those fake names. It might be under one of those.
Oh man, this looks like a real person. She got
No, I know that. I'm saying the name. It might not. The person's name might not be Katie who's selling it. They might not want to put their full name.
I'll
out
tell you
there,
right
I
now,
guess.
it looks like her real profile. She got kid pictures up.
Okay.
Like I can't, like
she
again, I'm
work
not
for?
gonna.
So how did they get in?
I don't know. Here,
Maybe
hold
they
on.
work for FIFA.
Hold on. I
or-
will look her up on LinkedIn. She is an area director of sales for a hospitality group. Maybe she works for this hotel.
Oh, so
Okay,
she
that- I
lives
mean,
in Kansas City,
maybe
probably.
It falls in line with.
She probably is. She probably works for the city. Can we work out a payment plan?
That would be crazy.
We got to
I'm more
find out.
interested
We got to find out if this is her best price.
Let's get it.
We got to start there,
Get
Drew.
it. More and more interested.
Is 40,000 your best price? Because I mean, just who is the market for this besides this stupid show? Like who? Besides me, an idiot, convincing a bunch of the rest of us to be idiots together.
The only other people you're competing against are the ones who have money to blow, and they're like, you know what? This is really cool. I'm going to get it for no reason, which is probably few and far between anyways. You're not dealing with the general population of Kansas City or the U.S., I suppose, to get this trailer. No chance. 40 grand?
I mean, someone says, hey, man, most scammers have a legit looking profile. This would be the most insane Facebook market scam ever.
Just don't send them your money before.
I'm not good. Like, who would send the money before they have the trailer?
Yeah, well, I would,
I
evidently.
can just see it, and they'd have to prove to me that
or
they can
paying
sell
somebody,
it.
Yeah.
But I need to know.
Don't do what I did.
Katie, if you're listening,
essentially, as I stuttered
is this
through
your
it.
best price?
This is your best. Messi should just buy it and blow it up.
She didn't put OBO, not or best offer. I just need to know. Is this your
Messi
best-
should buy it and just blow it up.
blow it up just
Yeah.
because?
Yeah, just give 40 grand. Messi does.
Insane. Let's talk about the NFL and transparency. We'll get to the top 10 offense and defense stuff in just a minute. Flora had an article up on Pro Football Talk. Sean Payton is calling for. He is predicting that the NFL officiating is going to go through a transparency the way we've seen in some of these other smaller collegiate conferences where they let you hear some of the conversations. And I'll tell you right now, Peyton's way off. When is the last time the NFL went for more transparency? They destroyed tapes when Bill Belichick got caught cheating. They bury everything they get a chance to do. The NFL's not looking to be more transparent. They should.
Well, Drew probably knows this.
They should be more transparent.
most
But is the NFL
transparent-
going to be more transparent? I have a hard time believing
It has happened. The most transparent, and Drew, you can back this up, ACC. When the ACC games are on, and now you've seen that, Drew, where they'll show you the review area. Like they have a camera in there, and they'll show you what they're discussing.
Yeah.
So the ACC, you can hear that, though. You can hear them discussing what to do. You've heard it. You've seen it.
I think they all should. I don't know why we don't have access to that, and I understand. I don't know what privacy do you need to go? I understand you're the one making the decision, but why does it need to be private? I suppose.
Well, it gets rid of
why-
conspiracy talk for sure.
Yeah, I think you eliminate, which is why it's probably happening across the college landscape. Is it helps with the. This is the real conversations that they're having over the course of this. I don't know if they're. I don't know why they'd be trying to protect something. I don't believe they are, but why not disclose the conversations?
I guess
It might be healthy for the fan
Drew-
concept of it. I guess.
Drew, you're not wrong, but like teams don't do this. Like I was shocked today. There's an article up on somebody got access to the Chicago White Sox on purpose, not like accident.
Mm-hmm.
The Chicago White Sox allowed a reporter in to write up a story, and he sat in the room while they actively discussed as a team on draft day which player to take. Where this scout said this guy said this. They went back and forth. He was allowed to see the inner workings of like what a real debate with a team looks like on draft day for a Major League Baseball team. Could you imagine Brett Veach letting me anywhere near that? No chance. And look, that's the highest level of transparency. But I've never seen the NFL move towards transparency. For the most part, everything they do is very secretive. We don't even know. They don't even like to admit when somebody makes a mistake. They just release. They don't even make the referees available for a post game. One reporter gets to go ask him and everything, and every time the ref says it was perfect, nailed it. They don't even make that guy available for all the media, like in a press conference or an interview setting. One person's allowed to talk to that guy, and they pretty much just release a statement.
Well, here's where it's got legs, because Sean Payton is a big-time member of the NFL's competition committee.
He is.
So they have a good voice there, and where he says these things must be things they're discussing. Now, I will say this too. It's about the UFL style, because UFL does this. United Football League does this. It said, here's the key aspects of the stance, why they'd be willing to do it. With legalized sports gambling, Payton believes transparency helps fans understand calls, and this is fair to both the public and the officials. Proven precedents. He cited the UFL's current review broadcast, where rulings are immediately explained on air as a model the NFL should emulate. So also added the comfort for the fans, see how decisions are arrived. So
I think that's the main thing.
The UFL actually does it very nicely. We'll throw that one in there too.
Because Cody, I don't think we're not by this. I don't think at least they're asking to have, eyeballs on what it's like to be in the facility during draft day to the extent of what you brought up with like the White Sox or Chicago or whatever. But I do think that from the officiating standpoint.
The transparency part, but it's never going to stop the people for the conspiracy theories, right?
I think it would end at least on the official. It might be Roger Goodell may made the call for the yada yada. I don't from the I don't know how you could argue it. I think it would end the debate of this ref's got yada the joke of this ref's got this on the game, or the ref lived for 2 years. He grew up in this area. All of that crap that gets put out there, I think it would end that just off of this is what it's like. Hey, this is the call that I made. Let me see it. Okay, yes, we're gonna slow it down a little bit. Do this and this. And I think it allows you also to respect the officiating a little bit more. I think from the side, not so much the UFL because I haven't seen it that much, but from the ACC and the Big 12 part of things, I do think that you'll respect the officiating more maybe by hearing the conversations they have and not just assuming that nothing's actually being discussed when they're reviewing the play.
So I will say there's some truth in that. But I think we're doing that having not heard the conversations. They could look worse. And I think that's the part of it, Drew, that we probably...
Really?
The NFL, they sit in there and we can... Because sometimes they still get the calls wrong. We sit there, Drew, and we still...
You're saying?
And we still have two eyes. And we're like, hey, idiot, not a catch, or clearly a fumble, or he obviously got the first down. And they sit there and they hem and haw and go back and forth. I'm like, this is what you talk about? You're still not even getting the call right. What are you guys talking about? There's a chance of looking worse. And I've just never known the NFL. The NFL's the opposite of transparency. No, it's like they want less of it, not
But you know
more.
whose idea this is. You know whose format this is. They want Dean Blandino. Because he does it for the UFL. So Dean Blandino puts this out there. He wants it. He went to the Kelsey wedding as well. I'm surprised there wasn't a ton of jokes about that.
Yeah, that was weird.
I'm surprised there wasn't a ton of jokes about
wait for the regular
former
season
NFL official. I'm shocked that wasn't part of it. But anyway, so Dean Blandino does it. Sean Payton says that more people feel the same way in his competition committee. So we might be getting there to some point. I think they do want to separate that. I think that was a big thing with the officials, getting the officials in camp, the real officials, not using the fake ones, more transparency, more full-time jobs like they've talked about with the NFL. They're really trying to back up that credibility thing, that whole gambling credibility. That was the whole Sorsby thing. What's real?
The only way to clear that up is to
once you lose,
not take the money from.
Once you lose the we're credible stance, that is impossible to get back.
But they haven't lost that yet.
They haven't yet, but they're...
So if you're... From a gambling perspective, I can hear that, Bank. At least in this, hey, we're going to make sure to clear this stuff up and make it clear. But also, Sorsby's not their problem. They just took the hatchet to him. They said, you think we're going to do a supplemental draft? Kick rocks. And everybody all agreed.
That was 100% why the NFL did this to Sorsby.
Yes.
To back that buzzer.
They're like, this guy has nothing to do with us.
Yeah. So
you leave our name out.
The non-transparency because we already get that anyways. It's no different than what we already get.
Yeah. I don't
what they
mind
don't want
it, but
is,
also like I'd be surprised if the NFL went with it.
what they don't want is this, because this is what people are thinking in their minds when it goes to replay. Well, give him the catch. We want to see the Giants in the Super Bowl for the New York market. We want to see the catch.
But there's no way they're saying. There's
I
no
know
way
that.
there's
I
no
know
way
that.
they're saying that.
But you know what people believe? People believe
But
anything.
it's like if he says,
people were believing.
But that would
let me
eliminate
talk
that
for a second.
conversation,
Let me finish. What I'm saying is people were saying that about the Chiefs. The officials are cheating for the Chiefs because they want to see Mahomes go to the Super Bowl. People actually believe stupid crap. People actually believe this stuff, Drew. That's the thing. And if the NFL, they just want the Giants in the Super Bowl for the New York market. What I'm saying is when you're transparent about it, it kind of eliminates that. Oh, they ruled this because of this. This is why they made the decision.
Pink. I agree with you.
Okay. I'm just saying it takes away all that extra crap.
It would eliminate the "this is rigged" thing. More, which I
would help.
Maybe I'm on social media too much.
Not
Cody.
unless they question if the guy's on there like, well, I can't really tell, so I guess it's a catch. I guess.
I'm just saying people believe.
But you're right on this.
People believe in conspiracy theories.
I think that
100%.
But I think that maybe I'm on social media enough.
There's
where,
people who don't think the Earth's round.
That's right.
People believe anything.
Yeah,
I do understand your argument though, Cody, where the conversation shows
one little slip up.
Not you're inept, but how are we able to see it from the same angle and you can't see the ruling? Yeah. That would be something that would be concerning in terms of the not necessarily integrity of the game, but this is who you have as an official
or like
at the National Football League level.
Yeah, or what if the official's like, no, it was a catch. I'm seeing it, and New York inevitably makes the call. And the guy in New York's like, I don't think he got it. And you're like, oh, what? Like, it opens up they'd have to speak so matter of fact, so absolute. I just don't think the NFL wants to invite that. People will make, as Bink pointed out, a conspiracy about anything. In the long run, I'm just not sure that it does anything to serve the sport.
I just think a lot of people are sitting there on a Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
And they see it going to review and they say, oh, they're going to give this one to the Chiefs. Oh, they're going to give this to the Chiefs. That's the conspiracy part about it. Or when people look at it and say, oh, they just want to see New York go to the Super Bowl. They just want a big mark in the Super Bowl. That's why this decision is going there. But when everything goes to replay, people sit back at home and they think of all these conspiracies. And this is what they're doing. They're trying to screw this team or that team. Do you guys remember the Detroit Lions in Kansas City? How bad that was, that game last year? How much they cried. How much they cried after the game. The officiate them, screwed them. And then we didn't hear nothing the next week because the next week they played the Buccaneers, who got completely screwed in the game, but nothing was said at all. But man, Detroit cried about that officiating the whole week. They didn't even really concentrate on next week's game because they were still talking about that game in Kansas City, and so were their fans.
It's difficult, Drew, because like in the biggest moments is when you think it might clear it up, right?
You would think
Josh Allen getting stopped on 4th down. When it was the mess of people and nobody could quite tell, and Bills fans felt really slighted because the Chiefs got called for the stop, they reviewed it, and they were like, can't tell, they still stopped him.
Mm-hmm.
It's, if we could hear the ref in New York talk, would it have helped? Or would they have just been like, we can't see it. Like, we can't, I can't, can you tell Bob? No, this, would it have stopped the conspiracy? Probably not. Bills fans still think they get there.
Yeah.
Chiefs fans still think he doesn't. So even in the moments where they sound competent, look competent, there's not a clear answer. It doesn't stop the fans from guessing which version.
Well, and sometimes the play-by-play or the analyst will explain the decision.
Yeah.
This is why they made the decision. The problem is...
That's why they got Blandino.
The problem is people don't hear that.
Those guys.
Because people are too busy complaining about the call with their friends or texting or whatever. They're not hearing the announcer clear it up or the analyst clearing up because it's the decision's made. So then they all freak out and go into mode where they're crying in the fetal position and upset about things because they didn't hear the explanation. But if you got to hear the explanation as it's going, I think it does make a difference.
And Cody, this is where if they just got rid of replay, we wouldn't have this problem. If they just call in to your get rid of we have too much replay. They need to get rid of some of it.
It's I just don't feel like it helped the sport as much as I thought it would.
It makes you want to get it right, but it became so I guess detailed with we got to get every little thing correct. Where you're looking like you're looking at it through like a microscope almost.
That's true.
Where it's not a natural. You're never the referees, which is where I think, in fairness to them, it's tough to be an official because you're in a position where the human eye can only do so much. And then you look at a review and it's like, well, that was different.
Yeah.
But then it makes the ref, but then people are like, well, this ref stinks. It's like, no. I just couldn't see it because I couldn't process it as fast as, regular speed is.
And there's nothing wrong, and nobody's ever, and this has always been the problem with replay, nobody's ever thought a ref or an umpire should get it right all the time. Even more than just missing calls, I have an issue with they can't admit when they're definitely wrong. And that happens in postgame anyway. So they're not going to sit, I'm just going to tell you right now, these calls are going to be like, oh, you know what? You're right, New York. I got it wrong. He's going to be like, you idiot. I can't, he's going to think that he's still got the call right. He's never going to agree. Maybe and it might not even be interesting audio. It might be 2 seconds hey, we looked at it and, we it's a catch.
What about the length of time it takes? You saw Bobby Witt play at first base. Where Bobby Witt's foot was on it, or was the ball in Freeman's glove? You saw that. Remember how long that replay took?
Yeah.
That took forever to get that decision.
I've said this before.
Forever.
Is as well as the baseball shot clock has worked, the simplest thing all sports should implement tomorrow is a shot clock on review. 60 seconds. You can't tell? You can't tell, then it's the original call. You got 60 seconds. If you can't tell in that amount of time, you can't tell. Sorry, we're moving on.
You like ABS, how fast that is?
Yeah, it's a shot clock.
Yeah.
We're not sitting here on the scores table watching if it hit this guy's shorts for 55 seconds, or 2 minutes in an NBA game. 50 seconds. You can't tell if it's a flagrant one, it's not a flagrant one. It's a shot clock. You got to decide. Time's up.
Do you think that, because the NFL doesn't do this, the NBA does, I don't know about the other ones, about the other sports, but in the NBA, when they review, they'll explain.
Yeah, they will.
You don't hear them in their conversations, but you say after review, instead of saying the ruling on the field stands simply, they will say the defender gathered, had contact, the player was still moving, therefore it is a blocking foul, the call stands. Would you like it if the referees explained a little bit more, maybe, where after review, the receiver caught the ball, had possession with 1 foot down right when catching it, tapped the other foot, therefore it is a catch, and maintained control through the process? If they explained it like that, would you?
That wouldn't hurt.
Is it unnecessary, or does that make you feel a little bit better that they're explaining the process and why they're making the call, whether it stands or it's overturned?
Look, transparency overall is a good thing. I don't want to make it seem like it's not. I just don't know that it's going to add to I don't think it's going to solve the problems they're hoping it solves.
Yeah, it probably won't.
And that's where it's well then, in a lot of ways, I hate to say it, but why bother? If it's not going to actually fix the problems that you think are going to, the problems that exist, well then,
yeah.
I'm not sure that it makes a huge difference.
You're almost wasting your time by paying attention to that sort of thing, is what you're saying.
Yeah. You're making an effort to not change anything, I guess, at least on that end. And so,
well, the ACC does it, and I absolutely love what they do.
Yeah, I
love what they do.
But this goes back to the conversation you weren't here for, Bink, but me and Alex and Drew were having, which is the ACC, the Big 12, they can take chances. They can try things. Some will fail, some won't. They can do things like that because of where they are in the pecking order. The NFL doesn't have to be transparent to you, not at the moment. If gambling, to your point, if that ever becomes a real question mark, they probably do. But outside of that, they're still fine.
Yeah, I think they're so afraid of the legitimacy argument, all the conspiracies, the script, because they've heard the NFL script, they've joked about it, talked about it, but they know. But that's the one thing that you got to back away. Is it real or not? And I think that's what the Sorsby thing brought up a lot when it was first, he's going to be able to go back. People are like, wait, what are we doing here? What is real and what is not? Is he throwing a game or not? He's betting on his own team. How can we tell? But they want to back as far away from that as they can. Because the NFL took so long before they adopted gambling.
Yeah.
I always bring up to Tony Romo. He was doing a fantasy football clinic when he was playing. They didn't let him do it.
Integrity of the sports stuff is very serious, and they take it very serious. So it's maybe they'll do it for that reason, but that's the only reason I could see him doing it. When we come back, let's talk about how Rob Manfred has baseball all fixed, but I feel like it's disingenuous in some of the we're saying. Plus, Balogun spoke about him getting the red card rescinded and how that might have had problems for the U.S. on the pitch. We'll talk about why next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
The Outlaws are rolling in and they're bringing the thunder. Get ready for the Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull. Saturday, July 18th at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. Feel the power as 11 elite classes rip down 2 tracks with 10,000-pound pro stock tractors going head-to-head for total dominance. Gates open at 4, engines fire at 7. Tickets just $25 at the gate. Don't miss the dirt-flying, horsepower-packed Show Me Shootout in Warrensburg. Get details now on Facebook. Search Show Me Shootout Warrensburg, Missouri.
Today's Match Day Preview is presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. Download the Fanatics Sportsbook app today. Winning hits different here. The World Soccer Championship has been incredible, and there are only 2 games left to go. Let's look back at some of the best games of the tournament so far, including England defeating Mexico in the round of 16. England was minus 130, favorite to qualify for the next round, and escaped with the win. How about the upset of the tournament when Paraguay defeated Germany in Boston? Paraguay was plus 560 to qualify for the next round and took down Germany in penalty kicks. Finally, we nearly had an all-time upset with Cape Verde. Argentina was minus 1,700 to qualify for the next round. They needed extra time to win. It's been an amazing tournament, and the third-place game in Miami and the final in East Rutherford, New Jersey should be great as well. This has been your official Odyssey Sports Match Day Preview, brought to you by Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Listen in ahead of each match day for the latest betting insights from Fanatics all tournament long.
The world's best soccer teams know success starts with a strong game plan. AAA believes your insurance should work the same way. Visit AAA.com and you could save up to 21% by switching to AAA auto insurance. You can save even more if you bundle 2 or more policies, like auto and home, to unlock additional multi-policy savings while keeping all your coverage on one team. Head to AAA.com to simplify your insurance, save money, and protect what matters most. One game plan, one team. AAA Insurance.
Joint pain's awful when you're the person fighting through it, but I'm betting you aren't the only one affected by it. Maybe you love someone who struggles with joint pain, and you see it. You see what they don't say. You see what they've slowly stopped doing. It's July, and the days are long, and the light hangs around, and you want to be outside moving, playing, and living. But instead, you're sitting it out. Let's get your life back at QC Kinetics. That's what they do every single day. People who are stuck in that cycle of pain in their hips, knees, shoulders, and backs are finally stepping out of it with QC Kinetics. They offer regenerative treatments done right in the office. No surgery, no long recovery, and no putting your life on hold. Just real relief. So it's time for you to go see my friends over at QC Kinetics and get that free consultation. Call them at 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Located off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, 816-412-6299.
Community Blood Center has declared a blood emergency as our community faces a critically low blood supply. The Chiefs, KC Current, Sporting KC, and the Royals are partnering to urge KC fans to donate blood. And thanks, donate now through July 19th to receive a We Bleed KC Stadium bag. While supplies last, let's get out and save some lives. Walk-in donations are available at any of our centers, or schedule an appointment online at savealifenow.org.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here's a World Soccer Championship Team Spotlight, brought to you by the first ever Infiniti QX65 and by Lowe's. Members get more at Lowe's.
Argentina entered 2026 carrying the confidence of its 2022 triumph and has continued to demonstrate its winning pedigree. With disciplined defending, creative midfield play, and dangerous attacks from every angle, the Albiceleste remains one of the tournament's biggest threats.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to the home of the Royals, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station. What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti. Number one on What's Trending, Spain officially advancing to the World Cup finals yesterday after a 2-0 win over France. It was a beatdown by Spain, who controlled much of the match. That means Lamine Yamal, an 18-year-old, will be playing in the World Cup finals, which is crazy in its own right. Plus, there's a photo of him and Messi is when he's a baby from an old,
So there's more story behind
contest.
that.
It's crazy.
Yeah, his parents won a photo shoot.
Yeah.
And a raffle. And it just so happens that he might be playing against Messi. Like, what?
I know.
He might be
You should look
playing
it up.
against Messi. It's
a
insane.
very real photo. Argentina and England today at 2 to decide which of those two teams will get to take on Spain. England a slight favorite over Argentina, depending on the book you're looking at.
Drew, it's the second time ever in the finals, right? Because 2010 they won, but this is only the second time they've been to the final.
For Spain?
Yes,
for Spain.
which is very
That's
surprising.
surprising, yeah.
It's only the second time ever that they've made the final, and England has only made it 3 times. They've won once. Argentina is one of the more decorated in terms of appearances and also wins.
American League wins the All-Star Game, 4-0 shutout. Bobby scored a run at least.
He did?
And Waka pitched a scoreless inning.
He did.
Good representation.
And they
from
interviewed
the,
Bobby
Royals.
when Walker was talking. A nice little, Royals getting a little bit of
Finally,
television time. It was
Poor
very
Jack
scary when
didn't
Junior
get much
Caminero
run.
got hit, though.
Oh, Junior Caminero. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if he was hurt for a while, getting hurt in an All-Star
In
game?
an All-Star game? And look, a pitch can get away from you. Don't try to plunk somebody in an All-Star game, but...
I wonder if that would have brought up in the discussions for players.
I know, but if you're going to do All-Star games, then there's a risk.
There is a risk.
Like
Which is strange they still do it, because a lot of guys in other sports, they back away from it because they don't want the injuries.
Yeah, I always go back to that flag football game in the sand that ruined a promising young running guy's career.
It's Robert Edwards.
Yeah, it's like stuff happens sometimes. You're at risk of injury doing anything, though. I don't want to make it seem like that can't happen, but he said he'll play on Friday, or at least his most recent comment said he expects to play on Friday despite getting hit. Next up on What's Trending, the Milwaukee Brewers are finalizing a trade to acquire Astros starter Lance McCullers, better known as the guy did the backpack trick, you remember, Mike, against the Royals during that run and then openly got mocked by Kendrys Morales and others. Left Lance McCullers and left-hander Colton Gordon from the Astros and will take a yet unknown portion of salary remaining on McCullers' underwater contract because he's not been particularly good by doing that, and they'll get back a couple of prospects in return.
His ERA is almost the same as Mahomes' AFC title game appearances.
Really?
It's at 6.86, right out 7.
He has a massive, this is largely seen as a salary cap dump by the Astros.
Chicago giving money for a new soccer stadium. Looks like they're looking at, because they can't quite figure out where the Bears are going to be in Indiana or stay in Illinois. Looks like $424 million. They're moving forward. Hasn't been set yet, but moving forward on a $424 million MLS stadium. So some benefit there from the World Cup in Chicago.
I mean, not surprising. KC just gave some money to Current. They obviously held on to the Chiefs, but if you're not going to give $1 billion in public subsidies to the Bears, get a little money spread around and build some other
City
stuff in the
Council
city.
must vote on it, but it is moving forward.
It's crazy.
I understand that it might just be because the state lines are so much closer here. It feels so much different in my head that they'd be the Indiana Bears than the Chiefs going to Kansas. And I don't know why. It's probably just because I live in this city.
I think it's because...
It's probably just that.
Yeah, I think there's some of that, but also it's... Yeah, the border is closer to downtown Kansas City than the border of Indiana and Illinois is to downtown Chicago. It's still... It's like a 45-minute bus ride or a car ride. From, I believe, downtown Chicago to Hammond. Huh?
How excited are they back in Indiana, Drew, with the possibility?
Have you asked all of Indiana?
No, I haven't asked anybody. Actually,
it's your chat group, your friends, your family.
I mean, we've joked about it, but all of them are Colts fans. Like, it's not going to make a difference for them. Like, it's going to be weird. It's weird that they're in Indiana, I guess, but they're still the Chicago Bears. So, like, they're not. It doesn't.
Indiana's not going to claim. Indianapolis isn't going to claim them.
Yeah. Now, if you're in Hammond,
they might.
All of a sudden, like, hey, I got a team in my backyard. Maybe I will transition to becoming a Bears fan. Maybe.
That's what's trending here on Cody and Gold. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll talk about what Flo Balogun had to say about the outside noise that existed once his red card got rescinded and how that might have impacted the U.S. men's national team before they got their ass kicked by Belgium.
Yeah.
In that quarterfinal match. Ugh, that game's still no fun. That was just a beatdown.
No.
I mean, just a beatdown. But he had something to say about it in an interview earlier this week. But Rob Manfred and Major League Baseball Players Association, in the middle of a public fight, that they've decided to ramp up. Because at the beginning of the season, the Major League Baseball owners started running advertisements to level the field, as in their pitch for, we need a salary cap in baseball. This whole sport is broken, which is really funny because it's their sport too. And it's at a heightened level of popularity. And that's the point.
70 million fans.
Drew, you mentioned earlier, maybe it's trouble. If you look at like the total number of attendance, if you look at the number of eyeballs on it, baseball has never been shrinking. It has always grown, like all these sports has grown. Maybe not to the level that they want, or maybe in seeking of a new fan. Mm-hmm. But this is the part I do not understand about baseball. Baseball spends an exorbitant amount of time trying to attract a fan who doesn't yet watch their sport in the face of the fans who actively do. So if you're a baseball fan, 913-586-7965, do you think baseball needs a salary cap? Will it heighten your enjoyment of it? Drew, you said for you it would. As a casual,
I think I'd be more likely to watch when more teams are in the fold.
Look, I don't like that the Dodgers get to have a $400 million payroll either. And so, like, in my heart of hearts, I'm not totally anti the idea of a salary cap. But the idea that it's some magic pill that solves all their problems, that's a stretch. And what I think that they're ignoring is this idea that the owners could have been more competitive this entire time, and it's just the players' fault. Like, no. The Dodgers weren't the only team who could afford a $300 million payroll. The Padres did it for a while with a different ownership group. It's owners like, genuinely, like the Chicago White Sox or the Boston Red Sox over the last 15 years for whatever reason. The owners who choose not to spend and then make it seem like crying poor that are as big of an issue as the salary cap. And if they just chose to be more competitive, they could resolve part of their issues that way, but that's a hard sell publicly, Bink. How the hell do you convince all these baseball fans that it's not just easier to say, have a salary cap, than convince billionaires to spend money? But the text line, first one, yes, please, salary cap, please. That was the very first text in.
Well, over 29,000 is the average MLB games. Has a chance to be the highest since 2017. So it is growing on that aspect. I do think people want competitive, though. I do. I don't know what the owners, what they're going to give in, because we see these. I think the $9.6 billion the Seahawks are sold for, and of course, MLB teams are going for a lot more now too. Is the price of doing business?
But the players want and I don't. Is it an unreasonable ask? This is something we haven't talked about a ton on the show. So one of the things the players don't like as a part of the salary cap, and just like, hey, we'll give you 50% and we get 50%. They're like, we don't understand why that doesn't seem fair. Now, when you think about it, it's 30 people getting 50% and, hundreds or thousands of people getting 50%. You're like, I mean, that. Now, I would just say that's the United States current system of financial. So, like, unless you're trying to upend the entire current system in the way it works in the U.S., it's kind of how it is.
It is the way
it is. But 50% we own. But the player's biggest concern is, okay, you get 50% of the money we make. We get 50% of the money we make. But not on the stadiums or any of the retail or any of this other stuff. So you can make all the same money we're making, but then in addition to it, if you buy a team for $1 billion and 10 years later it's worth $10 billion, you get $9 billion, we get zero. But we got to split the rest. I actually don't blame the players for saying, well, make it 55-45 or 60-40 or make sure that the floor is way the hell up there. So all these teams actually have to spend the money against the salary cap. You got to make sure these teams make the cap way higher and the floor way higher and make sure everybody's actually spending this cash if you're getting to keep 100% of it. Or is it you never owned any of that. That's our profit. Sorry.
I think it's the best way to do it is just raise the minimums. I mean, raise the cap of what you're going to be spending.
You think raise the floor? Raise the
instead
cap.
of the owners, having to relinquish.
But that requires raising the percentage of the shared revenue.
The bottom line is it would never go the opposite way.
No.
Like if the team sold, the players would want their part of it. But if the owner actually lost money, there would be nobody giving money back to the owner.
I know, but how would you what's the players' pitch publicly? What would you guys tell the players to do? Because I'll tell you right now, they don't have a winning market strategy at the moment, which is they're saying it's not making it more, it's subsidizing mediocrity. Is mediocrity better than teams that are great? I mean, if everybody can win, maybe it is. Yeah. It's the same players. I mean, it's not like the teams overall would be worse, but I like competitive balance.
Well, they've done
I like
well
it in
past.
the NFL.
I mean, they got guaranteed contracts.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate thing professional athletes want, guaranteed contracts. What baseball is giving them, these owners, you got a guaranteed contract, meaning if you go out and suck or if you go out and get hurt, guess what? Your bank account is not affected. That's all really they wanted in the beginning. That's a pretty big give they get.
It's weird because in order to get the system that I think is genuinely fair for the players and for the owners and in line with these other leagues, do you know how much stuff they have to change? This is the biggest problem. Do you realize how much? So, they got to add a salary cap. Never had it. Got to add a salary floor. Never had it. Got to make sure that if you're going to have a cap and a floor, that I get to hit free agency way sooner.
Yeah.
In these other leagues, I get to be a free agent after 4 years.
Yeah.
5 years? What the hell? I got to wait around for a decade? You get to put me on ice in the minor leagues for 7 years, and if I so much as get lucky enough to actually make the major leagues, I still got to wait 5 more years to get paid?
And the bottom line is,
are you going to change the whole system and the whole way the entire thing operates?
But the funny thing is, it is getting better. Guys are getting their contract. They don't have to sit there and wait for it. It's happening. J.J. Weatherholt of the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Just got a nice contract extension.
He did.
You never saw these deals early on. Like Bobby Witt got it when he got his extension.
I'm curious whether they're a little more relevant. I'm guessing it's just to protect the contract.
Weatherholt got paid big time, and he hasn't proven himself in Major League Baseball. He has this year.
Connor Griffin got paid.
Yeah, Connor Griffin got paid before he did anything.
I don't think we're that far off from maybe Jack Caglione getting a contract.
I think, too, some of it is just the adjustment of this is the only professional sport that we have where you get drafted and you have to wait. Where NBA, you get drafted, you play for the most part.
But does that mean you
get drafted in the NFL and play?
I
know, I'm not talking about that part. More so just the overall enjoyment of the sport. I think some of it as well.
Yeah, it's hard
because I think some of it. I don't know how you would change that though, just in terms because I know that they're trying to do the whole international draft. Get rid of the high school prospect
Stop paying 14-year-old kids from Central America that I own the rights for.
Yeah.
Or a posting fee for anybody who's from Japan that I have no chance to get. You're going to make it all equal. It's so much you have to change.
Do those things, because it would be a revamping almost of the way the entire sport goes.
Yes.
Which is, it's a big risk. I don't know if to your point though, I think that for baseball fans currently, it would be a lot to take in and a lot to adjust to. And it would be a risk, I think, not necessarily because you lose those fans, but you just lose the plot entirely. And if it doesn't work, then
it requires such big changes to every
big
level.
Problems. Yeah.
Because right now, somebody's like, hey, other leagues have caps. The text line said this. Other leagues have caps. They don't. Why can't they just have what they do? Their system. Baseball's it's not broken. I don't want to make it seem, but they are unlike any other professional league in existence and how long it takes to get the talent, how they acquire the talent, how
long it takes to develop the talent to get to that level.
No other league do you maybe European soccer a little bit in this way because you can trade and transfer and develop. But in Major League Baseball, you can legitimately post $200 million and pay another guy a couple $100 million to play for you from Japan. He could be 30 years old and they're all time. He could be Hideki Matsui and 27 years old, and all of a sudden he could just be on your team. But you could also sign a 9-year-old from the Dominican Republic to a $1 million deal, and they could just be yours forever, by the way.
Yep.
You just own them until they're 24, they get up, and then you get 7 years of, arbitration. You get 5 years, 6 years of control. You can also draft them out of high school, draft them out of college, trade for them. There's too many ways to acquire a player in baseball. And the economics of that screw up. The competitive balance is not just the salary cap in baseball. You know why? Because the Dodgers can pay 400 scouts to get players from 7,000 different places, and the Royals can only have 100 scouts and only can look at 1,000 places, not 7,000 places. Like, the whole sport is unequal. It's not just the money that they spend on the players who are on their roster. The Dodgers own 4 batting cage machines that cost $2 million each. The Royals have 1. Like, it's not like it's inequitable everywhere. How the hell do you make the whole sport equal? And the only sport that's even close is maybe the NFL. Maybe.
I do think that,
and it's got problems too. But.
From the 9-1, and I agree with this. This is where when the original point of baseball is the only sport that we see the draft and then we might see 4 or 5 of them in 2 or 3 years. Where I think that's hard for people to get into and follow, and that's why the draft isn't televised for the most part. There's 50 rounds for a variety of different reasons because there's so many players,
There's
obviously.
It's not 50 rounds anymore in baseball. There used to be. They've cut that way back.
Which is probably a good thing, but also, but it is the only league where in the NFL and the NBA and hockey, you get picked in the top 10, top 15, you're playing immediately. Where baseball, you got, the Royals took what, Cags 6th or 4th, and he wasn't playing for, it took a couple of years for him to even get to where we are now.
He was only a year. He was quick.
He was very quick.
He was only about a year.
We're seeing quicker and quicker guys. That's the thing. Baseball.
That's just because more of them are in college.
More college, because we're getting up to 80% of college players drafted. For example, guy we just brought up, or 2K, Connor Griffin, talked about him. He was drafted in 2024. He's already playing. J.J. Weatherholt of the St. Louis Cardinals is already playing. Yeah. He just got a contract
But the
extension.
fact that we're waiting a year and we're saying they're already playing, is that not necessarily you lose interest, but
there's a lot of guys filtering in the leagues like
but I think it's hard for you to see the draft and say, man, this guy was the first overall pick, and he's starting in high A ball. And I know that's the way the sport goes.
It's few of them.
I know that's the way that the sport goes, but it feels, not that it's hard to get into, but I think that's part of the reason of, man, I'm really excited to see this prospect, but I have to wait a year for them to even have a chance at sniffing the big leagues.
If you're lucky. We'll talk more about baseball throughout the week. Matt Verderam coming up at 12:30. We'll talk all things NFL with him, including, I think, his continued frustration over some of these off-season quarterback rankings from, frankly, idiots who are getting into straw man arguments over Patrick Mahomes. But we know the U.S. got eliminated, what was it, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, out of the World Cup after making it to the round of 16 again, but a failure to advance further. We know the controversy around it and the red card that was and then wasn't, and Flo Balogun getting a chance to play against Belgium. He openly admitted that there was an issue in what took place. And Drew, it must be pulled up in the computer out there because I can't play it. It just says,
"Oh, really?"
Unavailable. Yes, the system cannot find the file specified. But I'll just
I've got it right here.
Okay, here's what Flo Balogun had to say about it.
My initial reaction was, I was happy to be back in the team.
Yes.
But when I kind of started to reflect, I knew it was going to cause a lot of controversy. And I could almost see within my teammates a bit of nerves because it's something that's so unique. But the closer we got to the game, I tried to just focus as best as I could. Yeah. But it was difficult, a lot of outside noise, and that's hard to avoid.
And it's just, it openly admitting essentially it was a distraction for it. But this is a really tough spot. This is one of those things that I think you and I got into. I always think it's easy to think it was a distraction after you get your ass kicked. But he was on the team, and I imagine that's not something you'd want to admit outside of it. But also, what was he going to do, Bink? Not play?
Yeah.
Isn't not playing a bigger distraction? Then you get, let's say it happens the same way, Drew. They get beat 4-1, but Flo didn't play. Well, then you're just left with this giant what if.
What if?
Yeah, and I think that was the problem with just the entirety of the process. The process was the process, and it got avoided, and it got changed for one instance, which already was going to bring noise anyways. And the fact it was the U.S. men's national team, and they were trying to do something they hadn't done in over 20 years. And, it was one of your best. I think all of those things stacking up made it where once them making the decision to overturn the red card in the first place was going to cause a problem, whether Balogun decided to play or not. Because I think you're right, where if he says, you know what, I'm not going to play, team's nervous, I think it still would have created that. But after him saying that, I'm not saying this was the reason, but they didn't look ready to go when that match started. And Belgium,
like they were
obviously
all tied up in the rest of the stuff. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know if it was that or they just weren't fully prepared. But even Mauricio Pochettino after the match said this wasn't our best day, and I think it would be wrong to think that decision had nothing to do with how things kind of went. I'm not saying it was the reason they lost. I'm not saying it was the reason that, or it wasn't the reason that they lost. But the fact that it happened when it did, the way that it did, and all the questions surrounding it, I'm not surprised to hear that it would have created a buzz that generated some nerves and made the team kind of look a little bit
just be
off.
on edge a little bit.
Yeah,
and
they
not
just
be your normal
they didn't
self,
look the same that they did in any of the other matches. And I don't know if that was nerves just off the match in general. Or
it seems like an excuse to me. It does, because we've seen professional athletes lose their mom, lose their dad, go out there and play.
I mean, I thought they were
No, I'm just saying. We've seen guys have tremendous distractions that go out and still achieve. They still go out and play. When you lose and you say it's a distraction, you got away with it, man. So just go ahead and do it. But we've seen plenty of athletes that have dealt with personal things personally going on that nobody would ever want, but they go out in there and perform and achieve.
No,
I mean, the loss of a parent, whatever. We've seen pro athletes still go out there and not use that excuse.
Well, and I totally understand it, but when you're hearing news that the president of the country that you play for made a call and is something that never has been done before, and a red card was overturned, violating all of their policy, what they have, because there's no appeals for the red cards. It was always going to generate conversation, and I think that. I'm not saying that's the reason that they lost, but in terms of a decision that caused distractions, that is a very big deal. That, I mean, it created, whether it made an influence or whether it didn't, the fact that was done and they overturned the red card was a decision that really kind of nerfed the anticipation going into the match. I talked to my parents and my mom was like, I don't know, this game feels weird. Like, it doesn't even feel like it's that big of a match because of all the outside noise surrounding it. That's my mom talking about it.
Do you think it hurt that not enough people talked about Ronaldo got the same deal?
Because I mean, we talked about it on this show.
But people didn't realize. I heard them bring it up on the set of the World Cup, and they said, oh, it's a different deal. No, actually, somebody got away with the same rule, but you're not discussing it.
I think it's a lot different.
Before the tournament.
You're talking about one of the biggest players in the world got away with it. We're not talking about it.
It's a whole lot different when it wasn't in the tournament and when it was for the group stage. And when the country that's hosting it, one of their best players did it.
It still never happened.
No, Bink, I understand that. But the fact that it happened in the country for the team that's playing in the game, it's one of their best players. It happened days before the match. It all of that added to everything that unfoiled, I think, in terms of what happened. To me, there should have been
more motivation to go out there and play. You're like, oh man, this red card's been taken away. Let's take advantage of this.
I think Belgium went in with that mindset of, excuse me, you're going to violate rules, and it's not the way that we see it.
You got the country behind you.
Exactly.
The place was going nuts. That place was going insane.
It gave them good motivation to kick their ass.
That should have given them adrenaline.
I will say, like, that's the part, like, and teams do this, so I know that there must be some something real to it. Teams actively, constantly say, let's not give them a different reason to want to kick our ass. Like, let's not give them extra motivation.
Bulletin board.
Just wanting to beat us is enough.
Andy Reid's the king of that.
Massive favor of bulletin board material out of Belgium.
I don't know why people.
Like, Cody, okay, fine. We'll come get you.
We're giving credit to the comments because Flo Balogun is being honest about his feelings and what it did for the team.
It doesn't excuse the lame-ass performance, man. They got work.
Yeah, exactly. Would you rather have had Flo Balogun either say nothing or say, that didn't mean anything for us, and lie to you? I would rather a player be honest, and you also in the same breath, me giving credit to Flo's comments while also in the same breath saying they had no business losing 4-1 and they underperformed.
Yeah.
You can do both things. It's possible to have both of them.
When we come back, we'll talk all things NFL, including your Kansas City Chiefs, with our guy Matt Verderam. He'll join us next.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Summer savings start now at Hy-Vee's 3-day summer sale. Save big this Friday through Sunday on summer favorites with hot deals throughout the store. Stock up and save big on fresh meat, produce, and other healthy finds. Want an easier way to shop? Order on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery, and we'll do the shopping for you. Save time, save money. Shop your way during the Hy-Vee 3-day summer sale this weekend only.
The Hy-Vee Market Grill is the best dining value in town. We love it for breakfast on the weekends, and now Thursday is steak day. You're going to get that perfectly grilled and seasoned steak with a baked potato and a side of sweet corn for just $12. You can't beat that deal anywhere in town. That's why the Hy-Vee Market Grill is a must on Thursdays for steak day. Dine in, carry out, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You're going to love the Hy-Vee Market Grill as much as I do. Don't forget, Thursday, $12 steaks, only at the Hy-Vee Market Grill.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. BALD.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's BALD plan means voter approval for property tax hikes, refunds for unfair assessments, and tax relief for seniors and working families. Listen to Scott Schwab.
I'm focused on reducing taxes for Kansans. You should keep more. My BALD plan makes sure of it. When I'm governor, we'll get it done.
Finally, a governor with a good head on his shoulders. Author of the BALD plan to decrease property taxes. Conservative Republican Scott Schwab for governor. Visit scottschwab.com/bald to learn more. Paid for by Schwab for Governor, Jim Felter, Treasurer.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. Even if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you keep your bet alive and it keeps you in the action for even longer. So now you're in it until the final whistle. The Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. This summer is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be even better with our friends over at FanDuel. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the same page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically will transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. Go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer for the World Soccer Championship with FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da!
If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with auto pay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Back in here on Cody and Gold, Cody Tabb, Jay Binkley, Drew Nixon with you. We'll get to the random question of the day coming up in 15 minutes or so. But happy to go out to the phone line and be joined by our friend Matt Verderam. You can catch his work over at Sports Illustrated or subscribe to the Matt Verderam podcast or Matt Verderam show over on Patreon. Matt, it's always good to have you on. And, part of the reason was just I like talking general NFL. And I want to get some of your opinions on some of these lists over from Jeremy Fowler. But you and I share a likeness in which the offseason might kill me. Because if I have one more person try to suggest that Patrick Mahomes is somehow worse than like Bo Nix or something, I'm going to lose my mind. These lists of top 10 quarterbacks that don't have Mahomes, how about this? At least top 2 or something. I'm gonna go crazy because I feel like it's officially jumped the shark.
Listen, I mean, I'm somebody who I think even top 2 is offensive.
I do too.
I'm with you, man. And I have infuriated about, I don't know, 75% of Western New York over the last 2 days on Twitter. But it's like, here's my thing with that list, really quickly. If you're making a list, and I understand with Jeremy Fowler, he's not making a list. He's asking people what they think, and then he's just kind of putting it together. Yeah. So I'm not talking about Jeremy. But like, if you're doing one of these lists, or you're just one of these people on Twitter who's a personality who's like, here's what I think. It's based on one of 2 things, in my opinion. One is either, okay, we're basing it off of what we saw last year, which if that's the case, then fine. Mahomes has no business being near the number 1 spot. But also, neither does Josh Allen, who was not the best quarterback in his own division last year.
No, Matt Stafford would be one if we're just doing last year's
Matt Stafford would be number 1, and Drake May was better than Josh Allen. And the last time we saw Josh Allen, he was fumbling hilariously before halftime. Like, I'm sorry. There's no argument he was the best quarterback last year. There's no argument that he's been the best quarterback in any season, including the year he won MVP when he wasn't a first-team All-Pro because Lamar Jackson threw 41 touchdowns and 4 picks. And if you want to argue off body of work, if that's the way you want to go, well, that's not even a contest. Like, that's not even remotely an argument. That's not even worth having with someone. So then you get this weird, I get a lot of people who are like, well, the last 3 years. Okay, well, the last 3 years. In the last 3 seasons, Allen has played 7 more games than Patrick Mahomes, and he's thrown for 7 more yards. So if you want to get into that conversation, like, okay, statistically speaking, very similar, even though Mahomes has played 7 fewer games. Mahomes also beat him in the playoffs twice, went to 2 Super Bowls. It's just so disingenuous. I feel like Allen, and to some degree Herbert's kind of like this too, they're almost graded on a curve of, hey, this is what they are at their apex. So
can I toss Trevor Lawrence into that, by the way? I'm convinced that he's judged that way too.
Yeah, like Trevor Lawrence is like that for like a very, very brief moment of time. We got Kyler Murray like that. It's like this weird, like, well, hey, man, did you see this throw he made against Miami in October? It's like, yeah, I did. Did you see January? Because I happened to watch that. Like, I think, look, Allen's a great, great player. If I had to vote for the Hall of Fame and he has another 5 years like this, I'd put him in on the first ballot. But if you're like, to me, the question of the best at anything comes down to a very simple question. One game, your mortgage is on the line. You win, you pay your mortgage off. Who do you want playing quarterback for you? I mean, Josh Allen's family would pick Mahomes. Like, in what world did you be like, I don't want the guy that does nothing but win huge games, right? Like, if you said to me Brady or anyone, I would take Tom Brady. He wins. I don't care that Manning threw for more yards per season. Like, I don't care. I watch the guy. So, these lists are truly going to kill us all.
Yeah, and the one thing, too, man, it seems like people forget. There's several facts I think people forget. when they come to these conclusions. Number one, he just turned 30. And a lot of guys build their Hall of Fame careers actually in their 30s, like a Steve Young really didn't do anything before he was in his 30s. And the fact he's got 17 postseason wins, number 2 all time, only to Tom Brady. That stat is never anywhere. I don't see it any pregame show anywhere, the fact he's got 17 playoff wins. Manning only has 14. He's got 17 at this point. And the fact that he went to 7 straight AFC title games to start his career, and the one he didn't was his last one. They tore his ACL. Those are things I don't hear mentioned at all when I see these lists.
I also you're right. I mean, but I also look at it and just say, listen, I'm even though I'm 37, I'm very much old fashioned in this regard. Like, winning matters to me. Do you win? Do you win games? And look, I'm not going to sit here and say the quarterback wins are the end all be all, because it is a team sport. But like, I look at a guy like Stafford. Okay, when he was on the Lions, I'm not going to get all over Matthew Stafford. That's a 7-9. Like, what is he supposed to do? They stink. Like, I understand that there's a limitation on what he can do. Joe Burrow, to an extent. Like, they can't stop anybody. Okay, Drew Brees, a part of his time in New Orleans. Like, I understand why those guys weren't winning 14 games every season. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson have been surrounded by great teams some years good teams, but never bad teams. Never teams you'd sit there and go, that team's just rancid. Like, how did they find a way to win 12 games? I watched Mahomes win a Super Bowl. Not even reach, win a Super Bowl with Sky Moore, MVS, Richie James, Justin Watson, and McCall Hardman as his receivers 2 through 6. They won the Super Bowl with that. He's never had a 1,000-yard rusher. Other than the very early part of his career at Fisher and Sports, he's never had great tackles. They haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver since Tyreek Hill left. I mean, Kelsey did it in 2022, but they haven't had a wide receiver do it since Hill left. They haven't had anybody do it since Kelsey in 22. So I just think you look at it, like, that guy is not the best, especially when he's played out 4 times head-to-head when it's mattered. He's beaten him and he's outplayed him in every single one of these games. Like, at some point, it does have to matter that the scoreboard exists. Like, otherwise, why do we even keep score? It should just be like those games in Little League where everybody gets a Capri Sun at the end, and you just tell the kid they won. Like, otherwise, what is the point of all this?
So there are times, Matt, where like this one, where I'm like, you guys are crazy. I don't have to think all that hard about it. But the offensive line for the Chiefs has had me at least second guessing. Maybe I'm too close, because the local perception is this is a top 10 offensive line. They're great in the interior. Simmons is going to be a star, and they don't have real questions there. The national perception is they got major questions. They might be one of the 5 to 10 worst offensive lines in football. Is the truth in the middle for the offensive line for you? Am I too close to it? They're not as good as I think the outsider's perspective, unless you just pencil in guys like Simmons. The right tackle's never started a season as the starter. I don't think that should invite some questions.
Yeah, look, if I had to sit down and rank them, and I've never ranked offensive line, so I'm kind of doing this off the cuff, but I'd probably have them somewhere like 10 to 12, I think. But here's the thing. You are starting out knowing you have 2 of the best players in football at center and right guard. Left guard, Suamataia, look, and I get him. He's a left guard. He didn't make a Pro Bowl. Like, nobody on the national perspective is going to go, oh, my God, he was great. But he was good. He was good at left guard last year. He was not a you were not walking away from games going, man, Suamataia just got killed in this game. That wasn't the case. I think the big thing with them is Simmons last year only played in 8 games because he got hurt, and then he went AWOL for a month. If Simmons comes in this year, and let's just say he plays 16 games, and he's what he was when he played last year, which was fantastic, then I think the national national opinion will change. It's like, okay, they're a really good line. Because even if Jalen Moore, even if he's just a guy, he's just average or someone, who cares? Because the other 4 guys are anywhere between good to awesome. So then I think Simmons not being there down the stretch, they had a lot of national games. They were awful up front because they're missing guys. I think that colors it a lot. Most people in the league, I think, would tell you they think the Chiefs have a good to very good offensive line. But Simmons is the linchpin there. If he comes in, he plays well this year, I think that really changes quite a bit.
What interests you the most, Matt, with this team? Obviously, the offense, really only one competition battle, and that would be at right tackle. But the edge rushers and how they're going to utilize that, the defensive backs, what they're going to do in that direction, like what piques your interest the most with the Chiefs in 26 training camp?
This is kind of an off-the-board answer, but I am very curious to see how the offense responds to the coaching.
Okay.
Like I know how Mahomes and Kelsey and Humphrey and Smith are going to respond to it because they've been there, they've done this. I am very curious to see what happens the first time Rashee Rice kind of jogs through a route and Eric Bieniemy just absolutely loses his mind in the middle of the field and say, Joe. Like, is that a thing where that motivates some of these guys? Are some of these guys just turned off by it? Like, that's not for everybody. Now, it is for the best players on the team, which goes a long way because that tends to kind of be, hey, man, if it goes for those guys, it's going to go for you whether you like it or not. I'm very curious. Like, this is a team that last year, with all due respect to Todd Pinkston, who was a running backs coach, he played wide receiver in the NFL. He was not a running back. Embry, I think, did the best he could, probably a little over his head. Now they bring in a guy who's a veteran receivers coach in Chad O'Shea. Matt Nagy is a really nice man. If you've ever met him, if you've ever talked to him, he's a really good guy. He was not a very good offensive coordinator. And it's not a coincidence that when the Chiefs brought in Bieniemy, Kelsey and Mahomes nonstop talked about accountability for about a month every time they're interviewed and they talked about Eric Bieniemy. What does that look like? Are you sitting there on August 10th at St. Joe and you're just watching from the media tent going, yeah, this is a much different offense. This is just between adding Walker and the coaching, this is a much different, crisper-looking group. Or do you watch this and go, yeah, look, Walker's going to help them, but coaching can't fix everything, and or, like, this is just a clash because some of these guys cannot deal with the way they're about to be coached. I am very curious to see how that shakes.
When you look at the rest of the AFC, I think you can make an argument that for the first time in probably 5 years, maybe longer, this is the most guesswork, people would say, at the power rankings of the AFC. I guess that's how I'd put it, Matt. Like, where if I said, the Bills are the best team, or the Ravens, or I feel like there's a lot up for debate. How would you parse out the 5 or 6 best teams? Are they all the same? Do you view anybody as being ahead of someone else? Because I'm starting to think that I don't see major separation between maybe any of the top 5 or 6. And what will need to play out is I'll let the season do the talking because I don't see as somebody being way ahead of the group.
So on my Patreon pod on Monday, I actually went into this, and I kind of broke it down to 2 groups. My thesis is you got teams in the AFC that you know their quarterback is great. Okay, you've got Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore, Cincinnati. Put them in any order you want. You don't have questions. I mean, you may have health concerns, but as far as like their talent, you know what
their quarterbacks are great, but their rosters I have questions about.
Exactly. Every one of those. Like if I said to you for any of those teams, which guys are on their rookie contracts that you think are pillars for them going forward, I would defy you. There's no team that you would come to that you say you have more than 5. And a lot of them, you might say even 4 or 3. I think Cincinnati probably the fewest. Like, those teams to me, what are you going to get this year out of your young players, your rookie class, and then guys years like 2 through 4? So in Kansas City, what are you getting out of Delane and Woods and Thomas and all those guys?
And Worthy.
And then what are you – right, Worthy, Rice, right, like Gelati. What are you getting out of Noel Williams? And I think, to me, the question of the AFC this year is which one of those teams sees their young guys come to the forefront the fastest and the quickest. That is the team, to me, that is the answer to who's the best in the conference. Now, the other side of it, though, is there's a second bucket. You have Houston and Denver, who I have no question about their roster, except for the biggest question. Is the quarterback good enough?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And then you have these teams that are kind of like Jacksonville in the middle who, like, I like Jacksonville, but are they ready to win a Super Bowl? Probably not. Pittsburgh, they're good, but Rodgers caps you. You know, New England is a team that, like, I'm of the opinion, I think they're good. I don't think they're great. They took advantage of an incredibly advantageous situation last year. But it's like, of those other 4 teams, which young players can help the most the quickest? And then Houston and Denver, can you get anything more out of those quarterbacks? Because the answer is no. I just don't think they have enough to win a Super Bowl, unless Houston's defense is just the 85 Bears. But I think that's what it would take, and that's a pretty high par.
I mean, Houston, it's like if you gave me any of the 4 quarterbacks you mentioned and put them on their roster, I'd be good. I think Stroud it's not the yips, but every time something, and Alex has pointed this out before too, anytime something bad happens on the field, he like shuts down. And then you go back and you read when he was in college, and that was a knock on him in college, is that he wasn't good in the big time moments. I'm not sure that it's not that he's not talented. I just don't think he has it.
No, look, I thought Stroud after his rookie year, I'm like, this guy is going to be phenomenal. And I think a big part of it was their offensive line was so bad. He just got the crap kicked out of him. And I think it kind of caused some confidence problems, and then that stuff kind of snowballs. My thing with him is, can he get out of it? And then you have Denver, and you look at Denver and go, look, man, their defense is awesome. I don't think it's as good as Houston's, but it's really good. You added Waddle to Sutton, so you've got enough weapons, at least on the outside. I don't love the tight ends in the back, but they're fine. You got a great offensive line. But here's the thing. Knicks last year, so I went back and looked at this. Knicks threw the ball 612 times last year, led the league. But he didn't throw for 4,000 yards. Just nice, like 39 and change. The last guy to do that, to lead the league in pass attempts and not throw for 4,000 yards, was Sam Howell. Ugh. And you have to go 20 years before you find another guy who did that. Like, to me, like, I look at Denver. I think Denver's a playoff team. I think they're going to be there. I think they're going to fight for the division with the Chiefs. But if you said to me, like, do you think they're a legitimate Super Bowl team? I'd be like, no, probably not, because I don't think Knicks is going to win 3 playoff games in a row against really good teams. And last year was kind of a weird year, and quite frankly, Buffalo probably should have won that game, but Allen decided to have a half dozen turnovers in it. Like, I think those teams, like, can you get anything more? Because if you can't, it's just a really big ask.
When you look at the Chargers and Broncos, which one do you consider the bigger threat to the Chiefs?
Jay, it's funny. I don't even think this is close. Maybe I'm just nuts with it. I think Denver's a far bigger. I don't think the Chargers are good. Like, maybe I'm just way off base, and they win 12 games. The problem I have with the Chargers is this is a team that the last couple of years, they've been top 5 in cap space in the NFL. They have been able to do whatever they've wanted to do. And they've done nothing. They've let guys walk. Adafeoe walked. They traded Gilman for him. They let him leave. Now, of course, Gilman goes to the Chiefs. They let Keenan Allen walk. He's still free agent. Maybe he goes back. They obviously are getting their tackles back, but the interior line is still kind of a mess. I don't love their weapons outside of McConkey. In fact, I don't even know if they have a real viable weapon. Hampton's kind of the wild card there. We'll see what he does in the second year. Denver, I know defensively, they're going to be very good. I know Peyton can coach. I know that line's really good. But I got to tell you, it's funny. The way the NFL works, that's why it's king. If you said to me, what is the biggest game of the year in that division? I think it's the first game. I think it's Denver, Kansas City. If Denver wins that game, they're in an incredible spot right off the bat. And if Kansas City wins that game, the Chiefs have to be sitting there going, look, man, we get the Chargers off a bye at home in a few weeks, and then we go to Denver, and if we win those games, like, it's done. They're going to win the division 8 weeks into the year. Like, I think Denver's the far better team with the lesser quarterback, but I'm curious, can the Chargers get enough offense? And at what point do the Chargers say, look, we got to open this up a little bit because we just cannot continue to play like it's 1995. But you look what they did this offseason. They signed Alec Ingold, the fullback. They signed Charlie Kohler, who's a tight end who has 30 catches in 4 years. Like, they want to just pound the ball. I just think that is a ceiling. At some point, you've got to let Herbert just throw it.
It's so hard because they're never going to do that. Because it's not Harbaugh. I don't know. Unless Mike McDaniel's got more pull than I think, I guess. Because this is how Harbaugh likes to run a team. It's why he wins, right? It's why he wins everywhere he goes. He's as good at winning ugly as anybody in football.
Yeah, but here, Cody, I agree with you, but here's my caveat to that. He was really good coaching in the NFL like 15 years ago, and that's how teams played. When that was the way you play. It was just, hey, we're going to pound the ball, we're going to come out, big personnel. And by the way, that's having a comeback. Like 13 personnel now, that's a huge thing. I wrote a big article that's coming out in August in the magazine, whatever, about all this stuff. And that's fine. The problem is, though, you've got to be able to threaten teams throwing the ball for it to work. Like, if you just come out in 13 personnel and you can't, and Quentin Johnston's your number 2 receiver, I mean, anybody playing you is going to be, all right, yeah, we're going to get in a base. Go ahead and beat me. Do it. And it's very, very hard to accomplish that. Like, I think Harbaugh is a very good coach. I also think Harbaugh, though, if he doesn't change, they're limited in how much they can win because you get to the playoffs. I'm sorry, you're not beating a healthy Mahomes and Allen, whoever you want, maybe Drake May. You're not winning those games just pounding the ball 40 times and telling Herbert, hey, man, it's going to be 3rd and 8 12 times tonight.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to just gun it in there. Like, you're not going to win like that. You're capped at what you can do.
Matt, we appreciate the time as always. We'll catch up again here maybe in St. Joe. I'll be there in a couple weeks. I imagine you making the trip down this year? You're much further away, so maybe not.
I moved out. I think I might actually be. I think I'm doing a feature on someone with the Chiefs. So I might actually be out there. But if I am, you've got it. I'll stop by.
Appreciate it, Matt. We'll talk to you next time.
Sounds good, guys.
Matt Verderam, you can catch his work at Sports Illustrated, or you can follow him over on his Patreon account for the Matt Verderam Show. It's like, it is interesting because I also think Denver is probably the bigger threat, but that might just be because they've got the better roster. The Chargers have real roster problems that we are kind of ignoring.
Yeah, the pass catching
Unless
ability.
Ladd McConkey's going to go back to rookie year, Ladd McConkey, maybe a little extra juice sprinkled on there. I mean, I get it. Like, Amari and Hampton could have a better year, too.
And Slater being healthy, being healthy
still, like,
on the offensive line.
But they have massive question at guard. And the tackles still have to stay healthy. And I don't like their pass rush at all. I like it less than the Chiefs.
Because they got nothing.
And that's not even think about that.
Yeah.
That nobody likes the Chiefs pass rush.
No.
And the Chargers is worse.
You know, the funny thing
I
is
don't know.
about C.J. Stroud, we all know that he can get you to the playoffs, probably win a first game, and that's about it. But isn't it funny that C.J. Stroud has 3 times more playoff wins than Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert combined?
Yeah.
He's won 3, which is funny to think, as bad as he's been when you get past the first round, he's got 3 times more playoff wins than those 2 quarterbacks.
I don't even mean to be like I obviously tossed in Trevor Lawrence. It is easy sometimes because I think the quarterbacks that we give the biggest pass to are the ones where the talent is undeniable. Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, we can see the arm. We can see that they can make throws very few people can make, but they don't make them often enough. And they certainly don't make them in the postseason. And so, like, I'm glad that you're super talented. Either you don't work as hard or the brain doesn't work as fast or whatever it is. Yeah, you can do things physically some other people can't do. But can you do the other? And you, look better doing it, right? You step back in the pocket and you look like a quarterback and you have all the things that make you, I'm sure a scout falls in love with because they're like, how could this guy do any wrong? Everything he does looks mechanical and correct and accurate. But then they forget about all the moments where they just forget how their brain works and can't handle it. So that part of it just adds a whole nother challenge.
It's funny that Raiders and Chargers both taking a running back in the first round last year. It's still like, what are you doing?
And weirdly, it didn't even solve. It's funny, it didn't even solve their problem, did it? I mean,
No. It's like, what are you doing?
I don't know. Didn't even get in their way, but whatever. When we come back, we will get back into the Chiefs. Andy Reid is on a certain all-time list. Bink thinks he's too low. He'll tell you why next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are open now for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of Kansas City. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of Kansas City. Enter now at overheaddoorkc.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorkc.com.
As you know, July marks America's 250th birthday, and over at Low T, they are celebrating 250 years of freedom with their 250 for 250 deal. All month long, men who start testosterone therapy and stay with it for 90 days earn $250 back. Look, over 40, which I am, you can find that maybe the workout isn't the same or your sex drive isn't the same. And all these things that you're like, are these small problems, big problems? Are these signs of low testosterone? Why guess? Why not just find out over at Low T Center? It seems easier, right, to just say it out loud. But with their comprehensive care and some of the best experts in the city, that's how you can get there, right? You can choose. It starts with a free T-test in their facility, nice and easy. And then you can use the app. You can do telehealth. You get to choose the way you want to be treated. So why not just book your free T-test at fixmylowt.com and find out for yourself what the next steps could be to getting back to feeling like yourself. Go to fixmylowt.com and book your free T-test today. That's fixmylowt.com. Offer in July 31st. Terms and conditions apply.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel's changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore with FanDuel's Super Sub. If your player subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. Your bet stays alive, keeping you in the action longer. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the game page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically transfers to the substitute who replaces them. Go to FanDuel.com/local. That's FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook's the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Spain was trading at 17% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $572 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know what they're at today? Check Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only, must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, value, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Is your garage door too loud and whining for help? Overhead Door Company of Kansas City will make it all better. They will perform their full 26-task garage door tune-up for just $79. That's just $79 for up to 3 garage doors and openers. You need this done once a year, so why not now? And for just $79. Call Overhead Door Company of Kansas City at 816-221-0072 or schedule online at overheaddoorkc.com.
This is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
Final hour here on a Wednesday. Cody Tapp, Jay Binkley, Drew Nixon on the other side of the glass. Alex presumably enjoying his time in the sun? Oh.
I still can't.
Has he posted any more photos?
I haven't seen them. We got an hour till the World Cup match with our England-Argentina. I still can't. I brought up these prices before because the owners can have whatever prices they want. FIFA doesn't set the prices at concession stands. But I keep seeing people talking about this.
I know.
For $20, chicken tenders and french fries, hot dog nachos, pizza slice, soft pretzel, popcorn and soda for $20. I mean, it's unheard of.
That is at Atlanta, man.
That's awesome.
It's the Arthur Blank effect.
I will say, I just love it that he kept the prices.
We should do a better job as a city anytime we give free money to these billionaires for these stadiums negotiating this. Oh, yeah. You know what? Sure, you got it. Just real quick. It's going to be Arthur Blank pricing at this place.
That's right.
We should start as when we start when we give the like KC Current money to expand the riverfront, or the Royals money to build their stadium downtown. Cool. That's all great. Glad to help out. Just real quick, when that all goes down, we'd like you to just pencil in the whole Arthur Blank stadium pricing, because
that should be a part of it.
If I got to spend $4 billion, because I mean, again, like people text it in all the time. It is hard. Like my daughter said she wants to go to her first Chiefs game. She's 10. I kind of plan for months, Bink.
Yeah.
I don't just have a grand lying around most of the time to just spend casually on a football game. I should probably fix something around the house.
And you're gonna blow your money in the Argentina communications trailer.
Yeah. I gotta get to $40,000 to buy that. I did send her a message. She has not responded yet. I gotta know if that's the best price we can do on it.
Yeah.
Now she's probably gonna be like, "Are you a serious buyer?" I might be. I haven't taken this thing to the text line in the way that sometimes I do this. We once got thousands of dollars to do a Creed is Good video. We need third spaces in this world. Maybe my Argentina-based backyard bar could be. Somebody says I could call it Messy Taps.
Ooh.
What do you think about that title? Drew?
I like it.
Not bad. You can have a beer at Messy Taps.
I like it. I do think that Arthur Blank is doing everybody a solid too, because it's not like this is the old Falcon Stadium. It's not like this is an old stadium. Like, this is a brand new stadium.
It's one of the nicer ones.
Yeah, he kept the price. I feel like it. I don't want to say that it shows that that the owner's being considerate, because I do think Arthur Blank is being very kind, obviously, by doing this, but and not that Clark Hunt and others are not being considerate, but I do think it would be. Thank you very much for voting yes on the stadium. As a result,
just real quick, we'd like one concession.
I'm going to do you guys a solid. I'm going to do everybody a solid, so you can come and enjoy the ballpark, enjoy the stadium without dropping $1,000 on food. The merchandise
I know they're never
is the
going to do
merchandise,
it, but it doesn't,
the food especially.
Yeah, fine. You still want to charge me $200 for an authentic jersey, whatever. But it doesn't seem. I'll be honest. It doesn't seem like a crazy ask. Like, hey, John Sherman, right? We are giving you $1 billion to build a downtown stadium as a city. We're helping you fund this. It's going to earn you billions and billions and billions. Can I get a $2 hot dog? It doesn't.
Yeah, no,
I'm not asking for the world here.
Yeah.
I didn't fight the vote. I didn't say that we can't. We've talked about stadium, but can I get a $3 pretzel and a $5 beer?
There must be something.
I'm not asking for the world here.
There must be something about Georgia. Because the Masters does this.
Yeah, but the Masters, that's a whole nother animal.
I know, but
all their
been
pricing.
there.
It's like if you win the lottery,
insane.
just getting into the Masters isn't
Well, yeah, but
expensive.
the concessions at the Masters are very Arthur Blankish.
Have you been there, Bink?
I have not.
I still can't believe Drew's never been. You enter the drawing, though, or you don't enter the drawing, Drew?
I don't enter the drawing.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I just...
Why not?
I don't know.
You're a massive golf fan, and it's the single biggest venue.
I almost went to a practice round once, but didn't.
I went to a practice round.
Being in person with golf is an interesting thing.
But it's Augusta.
No, it is. It is.
It's not like I'm not asking you to go watch Torrey Pines.
I know.
Yeah, Drew, what would you do, Drew? Would you follow around the action, or would you pick a hole and just kind of stay at the hole to watch all the different golfers come up?
If I had...
Late July, by the way, is what we'll find out when we win the lottery again. I've already won it once.
I would probably pick a group that... I would pick a group...
Pick a group to follow?
To follow more than...
I chose multiple spots, but I was there for a practice round, so it wasn't a group.
If you choose multiple spots, I think that's okay, because the people who just park at Amen Corner, I understand that it's the most. It's a cool spot, obviously, with 12 and everything like that. But
you want to see every hole.
I would rather see Rory. I would rather see Rory's shot at I think it was 15, where he hit that
Yeah.
high draw where he smashed an iron like 230 yards and stuck it to 5 feet. I'd want to see that in person than find one spot or be worried about getting to the 18th and just seeing guys come in. I want to see the shots that we're going to remember.
I have done the one spot thing, but it was at the senior. The senior used to have at Tiffany Greens. They had the senior PGA.
And you just camped out?
Camp out at a par 3, which is the ultimate because you can see everything. Like you park there, you can see the ball to the green, you can see the putting.
So you're saying you would stay at like Amen Corner?
Well, maybe
or 16.
But the one thing great about that was didn't follow the action, but I stayed at one hole, but I was at the par 3, so literally you could see everything, Drew. You know, it's kind of one of those deals where you could see everything go.
This person said they usually spend, going back to the original conversation, $150 on concessions for a family of 4 at the Royals game. Like, man, that is as compared to what did you say was in all for $20? Hot dog, chips, drinks. Like how much? Or
a
what
pizza
else?
slice, chicken tenders.
So you could almost feed your entire family of 4 for $20.
Here it is: chicken tenders and
crazy.
French fries, hot dog, nachos, pizza slice, soft pretzel, popcorn, and a soda.
Man, there it is right there. That's $130 you save just off of food.
He's probably double that at $40. I mean,
It's weird because, like, you've already gotten the money.
that's high school football prices.
So you don't have to win people over at the end of it. But I do wonder, like, how much better, like, and look, we're all for the Crown Center location and all that other stuff. But how much more of the public do you sway if you say, hey, as a part of this deal, just so you know, we're going to do what they do there?
I think you're more likely to get yes.
And when you get to the ballpark, it's going to be affordable to eat here, you know? Maybe it doesn't solve the problems, but, like, had they put that in the original proposal for the downtown stadium and said, hey, just so you know, voting for this also means... At least for the first 10 years,
feel like you're getting
we're
something.
doing Arthur blank pricing. Like it'll be a $2 hot dog and a $3 pretzel and a $3 soda, and you know.
I think especially too, given I know that things are a little bit different because of the voting went with what the team is doing, but especially when you're talking about. If you're talking about a team that's struggling, what am I getting out of this? Well, you get to come see the team play. Do I? You know, I don't want to just come for that. I want to be able to. Yeah. Is there anything? It sounds a little selfish, of course, but you're helping donate. Essentially, you're giving this money for this new stadium. What is there incentivized other than me going to see the team play, which I've been able to do completely fine at this other place? Like, what else is there for me experience-wise? And that would be something that not only I think gives you a better experience in terms of being able to afford it, but I think being able to have more people enjoy the experience with you. It's not like, well, I'm just going to buy myself something or I'm not going to have anything and I'll buy the kids, something like that. Everybody can eat, everybody can have something and feel like you're a part of the action as well for a significantly less price.
I think you're 100% right, Drew. It's kind of like taking this Savannah Bananas philosophy. The whole fans first thing.
Yeah.
That thing went from nothing to hundreds of millions of dollars.
I mean, they are fans are in a lot of ways the heartbeat of a sports team. Because without the fans,
100%.
you're not going to get anybody there. You're not going to make as much money. All of those other things. So appeasing them by something as simple as food prices. I mean, even if the ticket to the game costs a lot of money, still being able to afford food is it feels like it's something so little to ask, but something that would be very beneficial.
Exactly. We'll talk NFL wide receivers coming up in just a few minutes, plus the Big 12 in about 20 minutes or so. But an all-time coach list out was over at CBS Sports. There was one just done by a smaller outlet that had the current coaches and had Andy Reid number 1, at least at the moment. Not Fowler's list, but something comparable at least to that. But CBS put their all-time head coaching list, and Bink was offended. This is worse. He seemed more mad about this than when Patrick Mahomes was listed as the second best.
No, that was right up there with
quarterback in there.
That was right up there with it.
I'll give you the name of the coaches above, and then you tell me why you think that this is being too harsh for Andy Reid. They have, and this is not surprising to you, Bill Belichick number 1. Although we did not talk about it, the cheating should hurt him. He's been caught cheating multiple times.
Yes,
should that not ding him on the list? At least 2 or 3 spots, like something. Like he got caught cheating. The other guys didn't get caught cheating. Vince Lombardi was 2. Bill Walsh was 3. Paul Brown was 4. So just every super old coach. Don Shula, guys, but I didn't watch coach. George Halas was 7. Was 6. Chuck Noll 7, and then Andy Reid 8. The only modern. So he's number 2 in the modern coaches. Bill Belichick, and then him. And then it's just a bunch of dudes who trophies are named after. And I'm convinced when they put together this list, and that's why. There's never going to be an Andy Reid trophy.
A trophy?
There's a Lombardi trophy. There's a Hallis trophy. Like, in some ways, it feels like that it's like
Shula's
what they mean
steakhouse.
is the history to the game versus the actual accomplishments as a coach. Because Andy Reid's accomplishments as a coach are almost as good as all of those guys.
Before you answer, Bink, do we? Is that something that we do too much of? Well, this guy's old and he won a lot, but are we sure that they're as good of? Are we sure George Hallis is a better coach than Andy Reid? If you put both of them in the same era, are we sure that George Hallis is as good as Andy Reid or better than Andy Reid? I don't know.
Yeah, that's always that age-old question. Like we try to compare players who is better in this because of the era you're in, the modern medicine, the working out,
is that what
stuff
ticks
like
you
that.
off about this list, Bink?
Well, I just think that Andy gets overlooked a lot of times when it comes to these things. It's nice that ESPN had him ranked higher, but I've seen list after list that has him weighted on the list, including here's the other telltale sign, guys. He's won one Coach of the Year.
I know.
Andy
Yeah,
Reid,
that bothers you.
Matt
a lot.
Nagy has won a Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Kevin Stefanski's won 2.
Correct.
Andy Reid's won once.
It's expectation versus reality.
One Coach of the Year he's won. Now, does a guy that's 4th all time in wins deserve just one Coach of the Year award? No. Is a guy that's number 2 all time in postseason wins with Belichick having 31, Andy Reid 28? That's it. That's the top 2 as far as playoff wins are concerned. Number 3 has 20 in Tom Landry. Reid has put 8 games on Tom Landry in the postseason.
There were less postseason games then.
Hey, I get it, but 31
less rounds.
31 and 28. But
Just
Andy
point it
Reid,
out, that's
but
all.
a combined between regular season and playoffs, Andy Reid is still number 4. I think the other thing too is, and you could run these numbers with these other guys, and Belichick's the only one with the same, and that is 12 AFC NFC title games in 27 years of coaching. Now keep this in mind. It was at 12 at 26 last year. Because last year, Mahomes ACL, Chiefs didn't make the playoffs, but out of 26 seasons he coached, it was 46% of the seasons he coached. That means going into the season, we see training camp and people are putting out their list, who's going to win the division or whatever.
Belichick holds a record with 13, by the way. Most conference title games.
Just one more than Andy Reid. He's got 2 more years coaching than Andy Reid. He had a 44% clip, too. He's at 44.8, just a higher. Yeah. It's 44.4.
Landry at 10, and then the next closest is 5. With John Madden.
It's
so there's
insane.
quite a drop off after those.
But all these years where people come out and say, where's Andy Reid going to finish? Where are the Chiefs going to finish or whatever? Here's the thing. It's essentially a coin flip in his coaching career that he's at least going to the AFC or NFC title game. That is at a 44% clip, which is a significant number of times he's been in the AFC or NFC title game. And the one thing too, and again, it comes down to modern, if you want to look at modern coaches, the fact that he just won one Coach of the Year. Now, I understand a lot of times Coach of the Years get it because they have a terrible season. They win 4 games, they turn around and have a great season, right? That happens. Kevin Stefanski gets stuff. But Belichick's won, I think, 3 of them, something like that. But again,
Andy has a chance for one this year, don't you think? Just because of
better chance this year than in the past.
Yeah, they're coming off a 6-win season. Like, it's hard for Andy to win it because every year they're in the Super Bowl. So the following year, does it seem like all that great of a coaching job when he just goes back to the Super Bowl again? I understand it is big.
But here's the thing.
From an outsider's perspective, that's tough.
I've always thought it's tougher having the bullseye on your back. And when you go to 7 straight AFC title games and everybody's gunning to beat you, and we've said that for the last couple of years, every team the Chiefs play, this is their Super Bowl. This is their Super Bowl to
they
beat
have to get up.
The Kansas City Chiefs. But, yeah, Kevin Stefanski twice, Mike Vrabel's won it. Brian Daboll has even won it. That is the worst assistant coach in Kansas City Chiefs history when he was the offensive coordinator of that 2012 Chiefs team. Kevin O'Connell's won it. It's just funny when you see these names. And Andy Reid one time, which, by the way, had our friend Sean Barber on his team when he won Coach of the Year that helped him get that back in Philadelphia. But, you look at some of these guys, Andy Reid the one time, obviously Belichick has won it 3 times in his career. So guys do win. And keep in mind, it's not like the Patriots had a crappy season and then all of a sudden they were good. I mean, they were good, throughout. Yeah. But Belichick still found a way to win 3. I just think he's disrespected. The coaching list is completely disrespected as far as their, even when they have that silly NFL awards thing right before the Super Bowl and they always give the assistant coach of the year and stuff like that. Chiefs don't even sniff that. Don't even sniff that. It's like, why are they good? Why did they go to 7 straight AFC title games? Why have they gone to 5 Super Bowls since 2019? Why have they won 3 Super Bowls since 2019? You don't think coaching goes into that? Especially when you're the best team. Especially when everybody's drafting to beat you. They're signing players to beat you. They're game planning to beat you. Whether they mess around
dealt
with
that. I assume Landry dealt with that in his time, right?
But Andy Reid is constantly doing it. It's like Bill Walsh and the West Coast offense, and everybody wanted to stop the West Coast offense, and they made it their emphasis to go out and stop that. But Andy Reid has constantly faced that. I just think he doesn't get near the credit he deserves for a 44% clip of going to AFC or NFC title games. That is insanity.
We'll talk some wide receivers coming up here in just a couple of minutes. And then again, we'll talk Big 12 coming up in about 15 minutes or so. Drew, quick update on the Argentina Football Association Communications Studio World Cup trailer.
Oh, price might go up. They beating a little bit.
We found it on Facebook Marketplace. It was listed at $40,000.
Now, that price could go up. Let's be honest. If they beat England and they go to the final,
I don't know.
What if they win it all back to back? That price is probably going to be 60,
I have
70.
said I should purchase it, make it a third space for the people of this show.
You should do it now before the price goes up.
It could be a bar called Messy Taps.
Oh, love it.
Or some other version of that, depending on, I'm open to the name if you didn't see it. But like, it's weird to me in general that a communications studio space that was connected to the hotel they were staying at is just available for sale. Our friend Joe had sent it to us. It is also on eBay. But it lists or best offer there. The auction ends in 2 days. It currently has 0 bids. Quick question. Could I get this thing for like $1,000?
That's what I'm wondering.
That's
what I'm wondering.
Is there a number in which, like, what's the minimum bid? There's currently no bids on it. It says the auction ends Friday at 1:18 p.m. Great time for this show, admittedly.
Well, first of all, why would they do that, though? Why would you put the price on it now before they have a chance to get to the finals? Because that will inevitably bring the price up.
Could I get this? She hasn't answered yet.
Dang it. See, that was the update I was hoping for.
But I could bid on it. What's the minimum bid? Can I get it for 50?
No.
Who else is bidding on this? I don't know who I'm bidding against.
Try to bid $5 and see if it'll let you do $5, or if it'll say, no, there's a minimum bid of.
Oh, my God. I'm telling you right now, if I bid $5, I'm going to need a listener to help me get a trailer together, because the idea that moving this thing seems like a nightmare.
No way you wanted it at $5. You almost have to.
Could you imagine winning this bid? eBay would. I would think she would just have to cancel it. Can't sell this thing to somebody would bid more than $5 for it.
I think maybe if you place the bid, the bid would start. The bidding would really get going. So maybe you should wait.
Oh no! Minimum bid is $40,000.
Ooh,
what?
Minimum 40.
So they want it for 40.
But it says or best offer.
What if they win back-to-back World Cups, though? Honestly,
no one's ever done it.
Matter. No one's ever done it, though. You can have the community.
It's still just a building, Bink.
But here's the deal, though. No one's ever won 2 back-to-back World Cups. You don't think 40,000 would go up to 80 in a second if they won 2 World Cups in a row?
No.
No, I don't think
so. Oh, I think the value would go up. By the way, Mahomes.
It has happened twice, Bink.
Oh, it's happened twice that went back-to-back?
Italy did it and Brazil did it.
Okay.
But still, I don't.
It says or best offer, though. I think she'd take 20 for it. So how many?
The problem though,
how many listeners do I need for that?
The problem though is that
2,000?
if you say, "Would you take 20 for it?" I think this person will think you have 20 grand just lying around ready to go for it. Is what the problem would
I'll
be.
Send a message. I'll send a message that's appropriate. I will say, if I can get the money together,
if I get enough investors,
can you give me a couple days? If I can get the money together.
That's how you have to phrase it. Probably.
Would you take 20?
Messy taps.
Then I only need 2,200 listeners.
What did you ask her? Did you ask if any of the players were in said?
I just said, is this a firm price? I have not asked about whether or not Messi is in it yet. I want to know whether or not the
even
price
if it's even if it's not Messi, if it's anybody, like if DePaul or Enzo Fernandez went in there, then does it count?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think that would up the personal value for me. I'm not saying it would for everybody.
It would make it worth the 40 grand, maybe even more.
This is why I also like our listeners immediately from the 913 freight broker here. Just let me know if you need a truck. Like just immediately, there's sweet. I handle freight. If
You get the first,
that's
you
one of
get
the
the first,
expenses.
you get the first drink at Messy Taps if
Look,
they do that solid
I've made
for
this
you.
very clear. If this gets
Messy
purchased
Tabs.
for $20,000,
They will.
and Messy
you'll
Tabs
get them
becomes a
a
thing, anybody who contributed to the Kickstarter or whatever thing you would attempt to start to even get the
Arthur
money
Blank
together,
prices.
would you get a couple drinks for free, couple free drink tickets just as a portion of this, and then Messy Taps will be a at cost spot for the rest of the time.
Yep.
Just like whatever it costs me to actually supply the stuff that's in there. We don't have to turn a profit on this. This is a third space for people to hang out and put a PlayStation in there, or whatever, and just hang out.
A backyard bar would be perfect.
It's got a little AC unit. It's got 4 what look like very high quality chairs, a table and chairs in there. It's got some nice artwork. It's got a ceiling fan. It doesn't look huge.
like
Messy Taps could only maybe
home.
fit 8 to 10 people. I mean, it's not at a bar space. We're not going to get away with a lot, but
It'd be perfect though.
we'll figure it out.
By the way, Mahomes has responded to being ranked number 2.
Oh, what do you say?
That was part of that Yahoo.
Yeah, we'll play some of that audio tomorrow.
He goes. He was asked about it, and he said,
Well,
quote,
I don't know if we should though, because if we're going to play it tomorrow, I don't know if you want to tease it at that, or are we going to play it?
I just can tell you what he said, but I can wait.
Is there audio?
There is audio. There's audio. We can wait.
Yeah, we'll get it. I mean, we'll play some. He talked about several different things. We'll get some of that tomorrow
Yeah,
for sure.
But the Messy Taps thing, I'll be there.
Some says, then a different person from the 816 says, I'm the best freight broker in KC. Now we got dueling freight brokers.
I bet Jay Southland-Toe could find a way to bring that out too.
We're going to figure this out.
Someone said if it was on wheels, they would go halvesies, but it's not on wheels.
I know if we could share it amongst 2 places, we'd be having a very different conversation. But I'll just tell you right now, the second this thing got to my house, I'd just never leave. That's it. It's the end of the line.
Wait,
you have to let it sit.
Is that where you're putting it?
It could be here. I could be open to putting in the Odyssey parking lot if Odyssey will let me.
The problem, though, is, Cody,
if
that
Odyssey will let me.
Well, the problem, too, is that if you put it in your backyard and it's a bar and you've offered everybody who's contributed drinks, you're just going to have random people just pulling up to your house.
I mean, again, it's an exclusive group. It's not. I'm not taking money from everybody in the whole city.
It's a big
You
donor
said
group.
4,100 people.
Well, now I'm down to. I'm hoping I can get it for half of that.
Okay, so
I'm down to 20. I'm down to
2,000
2,000
people are part of the crew.
Yeah.
Slinging beers all day.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
someone might, like I said, 2,000 heroes at $9.65.
Dad, I want to
Maybe
go play
someone's got-
catch. No, I got to go pour Joe another one.
Maybe somebody's got 20 on it. Again, look, we're not operating 24 hours a day, limited hours. Come on now. I'm not running shop every single second of every day. Someone says, I miss Alex. He would shut this down so fast.
I'm not going to shut it down.
I'm not
gonna
shutting it down
encourage you.
because this is I don't know if Gold, I think Gold would shut it down, but I think it wouldn't be as immediate because this is a one of one, talk about one of one cards. This is a one of one that could have potentially had Messi in the vicinity of.
I just still can't believe that this thing's just up on Facebook.
I encourage this behavior.
I can't believe this thing's just up on Facebook Marketplace. It'll never make any sense to me.
I think they're selling it too quick.
It's very weird that it's just on Facebook Marketplace, but whatever. Somebody says you could turn it into over on Twitch. Scoop says you could turn it. Imagine the sound quality. Turn it into a recording studio, multi-use space.
Yeah,
multi-use space.
I am convinced that you could have like a little podcast area as well.
Dude, it's
Something
got a
along
little
those
AC unit. I'll tell you right now. I will promise you that if we purchase this thing, we'll get every cent of value out of it.
Do you think England will have one as well?
Squeeze the value.
It's obviously a local type deal. Do you think England's
I don't
got
know.
one?
I don't know.
Every
the only
team
one I've
might
seen
have
for sale is the one from Argentina
Netherlands
that's up on
probably has
Facebook
one.
Marketplace.
You get them all.
Every
Algeria.
team might have had one, but they decided not to sell it, I guess.
Yeah.
But you're not going to take that back to Argentina with you.
No. It's about to be. I'm about to be the proud owner of it. Messi should sign it. But when he comes back in town, he's playing like an MLS. He should come sign my communications studio. I need a shed back there anyway.
Text line has a great
That's
question.
in your backyard. Lionel
Someone
Messi
says,
in
I
your
bet your
backyard
house
is
isn't
a
zoned for a quote bar.
But if you're not selling things,
I don't live in an HOA. It's a shed as far as
you're giving beers, so
the
you're not selling
government's
them.
concerned. You know?
Just like how
And
you can
also
have a bar
don't
in
be
your garage.
Also, don't be a snitch, 816. Like, come on. What, you gonna report me? It's a shed. Oh, I have a shed. I can't have a, like people do like the she sheds or like the man caves out there. Can't just be that?
This is a significantly, it's more
And you're not
expensive, but
selling
this
them
is a
either.
significantly better idea and adventure than the pallet was or would be.
Yeah, I agree
If you
with that.
actually got this, it would be pretty epic.
Yeah. I don't know how we would get it from, I think I'd need a crane. I don't know how I would get it from, I fear how I would get it from the trailer to my backyard.
How would that conversation go? I know it.
My wife knows who she married. Like I get it. I get myself in these kinds of situations constantly.
Would a fence have to come down? Is it?
I think maybe a fence would have to come. Well, or you have to crane it over. It's pretty open on that one side. Maybe we could just
crane it over.
I don't think enough people could lift it over the top. I don't think we could get like 40 people. Maybe we could. Maybe we just lift it.
It's pretty heavy.
I know, but like I said, 40 people.
Well, you get 4,100 people might help you.
You might need 41 and a half. I'm not going to be included in that. You might need 40 and a half.
Yeah.
If I'm one of the individuals.
You can hand out treats during Halloween in it. You can make it all haunted.
If I didn't think the city would shoot me down, we'd just keep it right there on the side of the street. Almost like how someone just puts a hoop up.
Oh.
Except for it'd just be right there. I live in like an extra, but the city'd be on my ass in a second.
Yeah.
They're not going to.
How did you get this? It needs to be moved by this time.
Yeah, that's a great question. Is that if you purchase it, they're not going to make me like pick it up the next day, right? They're going to give me like a month to sort this out.
I have no clue.
They're not going to make me. I think I could negotiate. Hey, I'm going to need a month to like.
Where's it at, Swope?
Sort this. It's next to the hotel they were at in Prairie Village.
The hotel. So you'd have to go through the hotel.
They were by the river.
Swope, yeah.
They were by the river.
So you'd have to go to the hotel.
The hotel was by the river.
Someone says I also move equipment for Sunbelt Rentals. So get you exactly what you need. We'll get that crane. 0%, 40, or someone's picking up over a fence. 40 people.
40 doing that would be.
Someone says you're going to need a crane, dude. You can't. Doesn't work that way. Fair enough. Let's talk wide receivers. We'll talk about why the Chiefs are not as far off of this list as you think next.
We're going to try to tickle your tonsils.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
$30 million in guaranteed prizes you can cash in this football season out in Las Vegas with 3 Circa Sports contests. Entries starting at $1,000, all with zero rake. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor, you pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with a $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere, $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special both for you and your partner. At Heartland Men's Health, we take great pride in providing excellent care and treatment options for ED. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no 2 cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Steve here with Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. Over the summer, trees get hungry and the roots look for water and they break clay sewers. So this month, we are offering a camera inspection and diagnosis for only $129. Catch an issue before you get surprised. If it's bad, we can help. If it's good, we will help you have peace of mind. If you haven't used us yet, we would love to win you over. Visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. BALD.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's BALD plan means voter approval for property tax hikes, refunds for unfair assessments, and tax relief for seniors and working families. Listen to Scott Schwab.
I focus on reducing taxes for Kansas. You should keep more. My bald plan makes sure of it. When I'm governor, we'll get it done.
Finally, a governor with a good head on his shoulders. Author of the Bald Plan to Decrease Property Taxes, conservative Republican Scott Schwab for governor. Visit scottschwab.com/bald to learn more. Paid for by Schwab for Governor, Jim Felter, Treasurer.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi? For what?
Better not to know.
Get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in your price for 5 years and see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Who is the area's only dealer for Fronius professional welding equipment? Metal by the Foot, located in KC and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on what's trending is Cody. I think he went to the bathroom bank. I don't know. Number one on what's trending, Spain advances. Argentina and England. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show, Cody.
No, there was an ice cream
I told Big
truck.
I'd get him an ice cream sandwich.
Oh, did you? That's what you did.
And I forgot, so I ran down to go get him some ice cream.
Nice.
Ice cream truck. You had to go see the ice cream truck.
All we were doing was talking about Argentina and England facing off today. The winner plays Spain. I didn't realize this. I was talking to Rob. I saw there was some previous comments a long time ago when Argentina played England, when Maradona was playing. I didn't know Argentina and England hated each other as much as they do, Cody. They're supposedly going to have extra ushers trying to separate the fan bases. They don't want the fan bases interacting with each other.
The FBI called it the most dangerous match of the World Cup.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, the FBI said this is a high risk potential in the stadium for fan behavior, fan against fan behavior.
Next up on what's trending, the American League wins the All-Star game with a 4-0 shutout. Bobby scored a run. Walker pitched a scoreless inning. Decent showcase for the Royals, but it's an All-Star game, Bink. Did you even watch that much of it? I didn't.
You know, I actually probably watched more of the home run derby than this, and I didn't watch the entirety of the home run derby.
Was the derby longer than the game? I know you were saying how long the derby was, Bink.
It's probably pretty close.
They had like some extra stuff. Did you see they hadn't signed looked like the lineup card, looked like the Declaration of Independence. They had them signing with a quill.
They had a cool throwback to Sandlot and stuff like that. They did the presentation of it was good. I did watch it to see what Bobby would do. Like I did want to see every Bobby went at bat. I wanted to see Walker pitch, so I did pay attention to that and see what happened. But overall, listen, the All-Star Game's a fun experience. I just hope the guy's still playing it with Junior Caminero getting hurt, which I'm sure they will, but I'm glad he's not real hurt. I'm glad he's going to play Friday. So at least that's good. And I don't think anybody intentionally plunked somebody in the All-Star game, although a good All-Star fight would have been fun. You've never seen it?
Yeah.
A good old mound charge in the All-Star game?
Seems a little over the top and unnecessary, I guess, in that regard.
Yeah.
Certainly plausible, though. Next up on what's trending, the Brewers are finalizing a trade to acquire pitcher Lance McCullers. He's got a 6 ERA, a little over a 6 earned run average. It's mostly seen as a financial move. They're giving up him and another young, controllable starter so that the Brewers can eat some of the cash. Be a couple of prospects exchanged as well. You remember Lance McCullers in this town.
Oh, yeah.
He was an unliked figure here when the Royals played good baseball.
It just shows you how long he's been rolling.
Yep.
Chicago Bears might be in Indiana, but it won't stop them from getting a new soccer stadium for their MLS team. $424 million for a new MLS stadium still has to be voted on.
The Chicago Fire?
Yeah, it still has to
Robert
be voted
Lewandowski
on.
makes his debut this week. Sorry, Bink.
No, I said it's still got to be finalized and voted for by the city council. But they found a way to spend their money, Drew.
To keep the Chicago Fire aren't moving to Indiana, so
No. They found a way to spend that money.
That's what's trending here on Cody.
The story goes on. It says, and they're considering the Argentina communications trailer to be outside of the new facility.
I got to say, this is not the worst idea I've ever had on the air.
I just want to know what it's
amongst
used
some
for.
of my craziest. It's just used for their communication team to like schedule stuff. They just needed like a separate workspace close to the hotel.
Okay, so there's no chance.
It wasn't like the normal workspace outside of there.
So there's no chance that Messi stepped foot into that.
It's probably
There's
It's
no
probably
way.
a low chance.
Well, wait a minute, though.
But I mean, you have to meet with the communications team every once in a while,
wait a
especially if
minute.
you're messy.
Wait a minute. May 11th. They've been here since May 11th. Here's the thing with the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes clearly did an interview today from the Arrowhead facility because you can see it behind him.
Yeah.
But don't you think if it was there, he would have stepped in? Because I guarantee he did other media obligations back in Argentina where he went in there, hey, we've got this thing for you. It's a financial deal or something with an advertiser. Hey, we got this deal being presented. Or we'll say an advertiser because he was in a bunch of commercials. What if an advertiser wanted to meet with him? They'd probably meet in the trailer. There's a great chance that he's been in there.
People are saying that Argentina and England had a war in the 1980s. Really? I'm fascinated by I enjoy history stuff every now and then, and this is. I didn't know that they didn't like each other. Like I know that that Maradona had comments that basically said, "Whatever we have to do, I don't care how we do it. We have to bleep and beat them." I think that's. I didn't know it was like that. But I didn't know that this was the reason. That's
They fought over the Falkland Islands.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Yeah, I remember
Interesting.
that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, I'm here
It
for
is pretty funny though. Like they're
for
not
it.
even near each other. What the hell are you fighting for? Not even like a border.
That was back in the early 80s.
It was 1982.
Wow. Okay. You learn something new every day.
Briefly fought a undeclared war over the islands. Argentina invaded the islands, but Britain sent a naval force and took them back. The war lasted 74 days. Over 900 people died. Led to the collapse of Argentina's military government.
Maybe that's.
So they probably don't like each other if they've been in,
within the last 50 years.
Well, it goes on.
So I probably shouldn't ask any England people to help me out buy this communications trailer. Huh, from Argentina?
1966 World Cup animals incident. Okay, so during the 1966 World Cup quarterfinal at Wembley, Argentina's captain was sent off for continuous fouling. He refused to leave the pitch, arguing with the referee, and was eventually escorted off by police. England's manager was so disgusted by the nature of the game that he refused to allow his players to swap jerseys and publicly labeled the Argentinian players animals. Diego Maradona, the Hand of God game, 1986.
That was this game?
That was
part of. Oh,
that was the Hand of God game.
They got a hand. They were in the Hand of God game. Oh yeah, well we're talking a lot of stuff. That was
so
the
that's
match?
why that's England's toughest loss ever. I think was that Argentinian Hand of God game.
Wow. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
It was a quarterfinal. And it said that the bad blood spilled out, most notably 1998 World Cup. In a tense round of 16 matchup, David Beckham was red carded after lashing out at Argentina's Diego Simone. Argentina eventually won the match in a penalty shootout, cementing their roles as English's ultimate tournament nemesis. So they've been their tournament nemesis.
I'm not going to say says they might help me buy it, but only if I allow them to burn it down. That won't help me.
That actually would be the
keep
reason. No, that actually would be it. You can buy this, but actually, Bing suggested that. Right?
What's
Did you
that?
say that you buy it and then you burn it down or whatever? I think you suggested something.
Yeah,
along
I
those
said
lines.
just buy it and blow it up.
Yeah, that's what.
No,
it was.
I don't want to blow it up.
No,
I want to
Messi buy it and blow it up.
Oh, that's right.
Because Messi, $40,000 to Messi would be nice.
In this case, shouldn't it be
He could
Harry
buy it and blow
Kane
it
who's
up.
buying it to blow it up? Oh, I mean,
He could, yes.
like shouldn't it
I don't
be-
know if the players feel that way. I mean, they're so far. I mean,
It's also a communications trailer. Let's not get out of hand.
Well, yes,
this isn't
correct.
like some symbol.
correct. The
I
players
want
also
to purchase
weren't-
it. Nobody
none
else
of these
does.
guys were born when that happened.
Yeah.
So
Their last match was when I graduated like high school.
So what was the hand of God?
Harold Kuntz just
What was
texted me,
the
said
hand
last
of God?
match was 2002.
Did Argentina have a handball and they didn't call it or something? Is that why England was mad?
I don't remember the exact goal, but I've heard of that goal. I think was it Diego Maradona that scored it, and it was.
I guess I don't know, but they just don't like each other.
I know
man.
of the goal. I don't know which goal.
It hit his hand.
This is a rivalry.
He
man.
scored on a handball. That's why it's called,
Okay,
not shockingly,
that's what it was.
hand of God goal.
Yeah, but that makes sense.
So a controversial goal and a controversial match.
That ended up going
They didn't have,
in Argentina's favor, which is why
they didn't have VAR at the time. So, like, if you look up that's like a really famous like shot. He scored it with his hand.
Because they're purely enemies.
And not like how this works anyway. Handball, your hand can't be above your head. It was way above his head. Like you have to be in like a natural athletic
I remember
position.
that part. I didn't know that was called, that was the hand of God goal. I did not know that.
Yeah.
This is fascinating. So I love this stuff.
Who do you guys like today,
drama.
by the way? Do you think England or
I think
do
England
you think
wins.
Argentina are winning?
I believe England will win.
They're a slight favorite. Bink, you got? I think.
I would say that
think
because eventually your
England
luck's going to. It just depends because we've seen the Chiefs win all these games at the end, these crazy games. We saw the Broncos last year until their luck runs out. So I don't know, man. Argentina's been winning these games at the very end. England's not really put great games together, although going down and winning in Mexico was huge for them. So I'd
That
probably
was
go,
the best one that they've
I'd probably
done, hands
go.
down,
I'd probably go England. Plus, I think they're still staying in Kansas City, even if they lose.
You said if you were to root for teams to win, Cody, you had Argentina last, yeah?
Not if he buys that trailer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want the trailer or not?
I mean, does that change
No, it doesn't.
my
It
ability
doesn't.
to purchase it?
No, it
That
does
was just
not.
a rooting interest part of it. And the team that I was rooting for to win the most already lost.
Are you
In
picking
France.
England as well?
I am picking England to win. I think that they're just and this is where I'm probably going to be dead wrong because I was wrong in the matchup yesterday. France looked like the best team the entire tournament. No questions, hands down. Of the 4 teams remaining, Argentina has easily looked the most vulnerable, in my opinion, for I'd say the majority. Everybody's had a match where like it's been sketchy.
Out of these 4, they've been consistently
But they've been
on the ropes.
Yeah, they've been on the ropes more than the rest of the squad.
Yeah, eventually your luck
And so,
runs
like,
out.
my instinct is, but that's what I thought it was going to, like, I thought for France, they were just an unstoppable train in motion and nobody could slow down the tracks. But, like, Argentina does still just have Messi. And, like, there is a part of that where he's been one of the best players in the tournament pretty consistently. England has not looked like an unstoppable force. They've certainly flirted with disaster in this tournament as well. And so I don't want to just pencil it in. I think calling it an even odds match is a pretty fair way to diagnose it. And if I start getting in there, I just think England, you know what honestly, to God, the difference is? Jude Bellingham is playing the best overall soccer in the entire tournament. I'm not saying he's been the best goal scorer. He's been the best
so good.
overall player in the entire World Cup. He is playing incredible defense. He's been really sharp with even just like his passes and his shots on goal. He's just been incredible.
Playmaking when it matters most. He's been so good.
And so, like, in the end, I end up deciding because he has consistently been the best player probably in the tournament, and he's coming off 2 incredible games, and so I just kind of give them the edge in that regard.
I think it'll come down to, as crazy as it sounds, which goalie plays the best. Jordan Pickford has been very good. He also has moments where he's kind of sketchy. Emiliano Martinez, they were just showing it up here. He's got 8 saves over the course of the tournament. It's going to be the best test that either have faced in all likelihood from just a pure goal scoring, prolific ability to put the ball in the back of the net. So whichever one can come up with an extra save or 2 or make that big time play could be part of the difference, along with, all of the key players. But can Messi drag this team across the finish line? Because it feels like that's where they're at almost, where this team is still so surrounded by Messi still, that he, of course, is the difference maker, whether it's him scoring or whether it's him setting guys up. Can England, and they made a couple of changes to the defense as well with their starting 11, as well as bringing in Rodgers for Madueke. But
Aren't you guys surprised with this hatred? They both decided to base camp here in Kansas City.
I think it just comes to those decisions.
I don't think it matters.
separately.
I don't think it matters.
They're not going to go hunt him down on the team hotel
This
because
town's not big enough for both of us.
Maradona scored a goal in the 80s. Again, Jude Bellingham was like negative 15 years old when the Falkland Wars happened.
I'm just saying, he's surprised they both stayed here if they hate each other so much. Or does Kansas City bring out the best?
I think it's
in them?
probably more like national countries hate each other. Probably not the individual players.
I don't know, but yesterday we said they were looking at
It's more
that
the fans
France
now
Spain
because
game.
they were old
thinking,
enough to remember, Cody.
well,
I think.
France was playing unstoppable, but yet Spain hadn't given up just one goal. So
Still that way.
I was dead wrong.
Still.
I'll admit, dead wrong on that match. Spain. I didn't think they were going to hold down France.
I didn't think they would.
At this
they
point,
would hold
who
them
is
to a
going to
clean
score
sheet.
against Spain? They've let up one goal the entire World Cup.
Yep.
One
just
singular.
one.
Played a lot of matches.
that's
Bink.
why when they got down 2-0, it's like, so
yeah,
they're
that
going to
was
score
fun.
double
Yeah, it was
the amount of
almost a
goals
wrap.
they've given up here in the last 20 minutes.
I was surprised by how good Spain looked, especially because the most impressive part about Spain's run is their young, budding superstar, 18-year-old, hasn't played that great.
He hasn't been the superstar that we think. I mean, he is coming off the hammy thing,
Yeah.
the hammy injury, but he hasn't done what the other stars have done in this tournament.
I would say that'd be a hell of a start to a career.
To that degree.
To be 18 years old and already have a World Cup championship with your team, I mean, that's going to put you in some. Is that the youngest player ever to win a World Cup?
I mean, from a starting perspective, yes, probably. But I mean, there might be other guys that have won World Cup, been on World Cup teams that were like 18 or 19. You know what I'm saying?
17
How old's
years old.
Mbappe?
Pele won it at
How old's
17.
Mbappe?
Mbappe, when he won, I don't know what he was in 2018. I mean, that's 8 years ago.
I've got
so
the list. The youngest
Kylian might have
player,
been 19.
the youngest player ever to win it was Pele at 17 years, 249
Oh,
days.
yes. Yeah, nobody's beating Pele. I don't think anyone will.
Ronaldo, not Cristiano. He's never won one.
The Brazilian
Ronaldo, 17 years, 298 days.
Mbappe's 27, so he would have been.
Kylian Mbappe was
he
19
would've been 19.
years, 207 days old.
Somebody
Yep.
said, and I agree with this. Someone said from the 1-6, I feel like England has the juice. It does feel, because in years past, it's, well, England can never win the big one. England's basically Penn State in this situation where they beat everybody, but then they face a good team and they just don't win. It's the English way, but it feels different. And I don't know if it's because of Jude Bellingham, but there was a lot of talk coming into the tournament even about Harry Kane. And can he help elevate this team further to not just a semi, but to a final? Can they get over that hump, over that Achilles heel that has really been hampering them since they won it back whenever it was in the 60s or whatever? And it feels like this team just has that it factor a little bit more. To your point, Cody, I think Jude just being good in every facet has been the engine that is really, he's the reason that they beat Mexico in large part, as well as the defense just packing it in.
Yeah.
But for what they've done in the tournament, Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane have been the faces of that.
I can't remember who it was. I think it was on Twitch or YouTube a couple days ago. We were talking about this. Does it make me a bad sports fan that I like teams having these? I don't like to see the streaks end sometimes for these teams who have been like stuck in a rut forever. So it's like, this team hasn't won a World Cup in 100 years. I'm like,
you
good.
want to see England keep losing?
Yeah. I'm like, good.
I think there's a lot of people who are
and it's not
on
even
that
like
side.
against the country. It's like you lose a little bit of something when nobody's won the Kentucky Derby in 60 years, or the Chicago Cubs haven't won it since they got cursed by the goat lady. I kind of like in sports the streaks that are embarrassingly long and mired in like struggle. I don't like it when they die, Bink. I like when they live a really long time. I don't know if that made me a bad sports fan.
It was like the Royals when
That
they
makes
had
sense?
won 30 years. It was kind of
No,
like,
it does.
It satisfaction.
When it's your own team, you're not rooting for it. But like
It
from
does
another
feel-
perspective, it's kind of funny to be like, there they are, the lovable losers losing again.
I'm not going to say they're like the Cubs, but England does have a little bit of the Cubs feel to it, because everybody expects England to be good. And for years, they just could never get it done. And for the Cubs, they weren't like the lovable, England was never like the lovable losers, if you will, like the Cubs were. But I do think to an extent, their droughts kind of fit hand in hand together, where people would make fun of the Cubs fans because, well, you're a Cubs fan. If you root for England, then,
it's been 70 years exactly since England last won the World Cup.
There's a lot of people who are on that side.
I kind of wanted to
Cody,
get to
I think.
100.
Rob was actively rooting on them to lose earlier in the tournament, I think, at some point. And I think people just, especially for the the Revolutionary War, the July 4th thing, people wanted England to lose. Yeah, I think all of that,
sense.
I think, kind of sided with people just wanting England to lose because it's England, I guess.
Yeah,
As this person on the
there's
text
that
line
part of it.
points out.
I am strictly talking about like all a sport. Like it'd be like college football. Like they haven't won a title since 1912. I'm like, I hope it's never.
Like Texas being bad was a joke.
And I want it, and I want it to be as and weirdly, I find myself rooting for it to be as painful as possible. Like to get all the way to be like
to
on
get
the,
all the way and then lose in the final. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
to get on the doorstep and then lose in once again just heartbreaking fashion. It might be because I was a Kansas City sports fan my whole life. I don't know. And so you want other people in the misery with you. But there's some part of it like it feels natural. And I think all sports need the hateable winner and the lovable and the loser. They need both in order for the sport to feel complete.
Like Jets fans, Jets fans, like when the Jets finally get good again, whenever that is, your hope is that they make it all the way and then they still lose in the end. That would be what that is.
Yeah, that's all.
It's like the Lions lately. Watching the Lions
or the Raiders.
Been to the Super Bowl.
Cody, when the Raiders, when Fernando Mendoza develops into a top 15 quarterback, and the Raiders are actually really good, and they somehow make it to the playoffs, you want to see them make it all the way. If the Chiefs aren't in it, you want to see them make it and then just fall apart.
Look, there are NFL teams with no Super Bowl championships, right?
A few.
Like the Raiders at least have some.
Well, the Lions
Bengals,
at least got really
Texans,
good there for a
Jags.
while. They were knocking on the door, then they came back to the pack.
I do think the Bengals actually might be your team, Cody. The Bengals might be you and Chiefs fans team. Where you know what? If Joe Burrow makes it, fine. He can make it all the way again, and then they lose again.
Like if the Detroit Lions are actually probably because the obviously the England has won one, but the Detroit Lions, if they made a Super Bowl, there's part of me that kind of wants them to just lose it.
Really? I think the Lions have been so bad that we actually have sympathy for them at this point. Go ahead and just win it. Or the Browns. You've been
Cleveland.
so bad for so long.
No, you know what? It's weird. Detroit, I'm kind of with you. There's something about that they're more likable. Cleveland, I hope they lose it. I would enjoy. And like, you know what would happen this week, Bink? And this is really small because we've only got a couple minutes to finish the show. Earlier, Drew, you had said you like when athletes tell the truth when we're talking about Flo Balogun. Or Florin Balogun. I much prefer what you're talking about. I prefer that to when athletes just lie to us for no reason. So Jared Verse, who's now a Cleveland Brown, he was in an interview and he said, what I see when watching Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel or whoever else they got there, he said,
Deshaun Watson?
Deshaun Watson, that's what it was. Watson, he was talking about Watson and Shedeur Sanders. He said, they both look amazing. It's two elite quarterbacks dueling it out. I'm like,
oh boy.
You don't have to lie to me.
Yeah.
No one believes you, Jared. You don't believe you.
It's true.
It is unnecessary to lie about this. Why are you lying about this? That's like I hate that worse, Drew, than just like telling me the truth and you're like, we got the yips because I got a record. Why is Jared Verse out here trying to claim that in watching Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders,
two elite
quarterbacks, duel it out.
That's awesome.
Someone's calling. Cody, were you rooting for the Knicks? Because someone said the Knicks would be.
There was a part of that like where you're kind of like,
I want the Knicks to lose. Yeah.
Like I got some friends who are Knicks fans, so like that makes you maybe like, maybe I should be rooting for, but like there is part of you that feels like the sport lost. Like what I think I'm saying is the sport lost something that day. The NBA lost something that day when the Knicks were no longer the team who could never get it done.
Yeah, that was more Cubs-esque. What was the Knicks for
Cubs
sure?
and the Red Sox.